Good morning. It's the Charles Van Morgan Show. It's getting about 6 o'clock. Welcome. Come on in. Come on in. We're going to talk about our country, United States of America, being invaded. They are taking over our country, illegal foreigners. So we are going to talk about that today. They're infiltrating our government. And people in power in our government are letting them. We're going to talk about some examples. They're infiltrating our legal system. They're infiltrating our law enforcement agencies. And they are getting positions of power over American-born citizens. It is horrific. And if we don't stop it, it's going to get worse. A hell of a lot worse. Come on in, join me this morning. Charles Van Morgan Show. We are broadcasting live. It is Thursday morning, October the 23rd at 6 a.m. Come on in, Charles Van Morgan in the morning. So join me. Thank you all. We're going to talk about illegal foreigners invading our country, taking over, getting power in our government, and taking power over us. They're not born in America, and they have positions of power in our government. Wow, I'm going to give you some real live examples and tell you what we can do about this travesty. We're being invaded and people in our government in power are allowing them to do that. Foreigners. We just had a rally, just not yesterday, but the day before, here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Foreigners had a rally at one of the ICE intake centers, and they're having these rallies all over the United States of America. And I wonder how many people at these rallies are illegal. And I bet the government agents don't want to investigate them because they don't want to look bad, because these foreigners, and I'm just going to tell you the flat out truth about a journalist. These foreigners are taking over our government. They're getting positions of power in our United States government, power over you, authority over you. And people in power in our government are allowing them to do that, giving them power, making them their buddies in government, selling us out for their votes. And they have high positions of power, not just low on the totem pole. They have high positions of power in our government. Foreigners, people that don't have an American a birth certificate in the United States of America. It's horrific. It ought to scare the daylights out of you. It scares me, because they're going to, when they take over power, when they take over our rule of law, when they take over our law enforcement agencies, they're going to say it's illegal for us to be here. Right now, it's illegal for them to be here. They're foreigners. They shouldn't be here. They have to come through the legal process. And I'll show you some real live examples of people that don't have American birth certificate. They weren't born in the USA. It means nothing to be born in the USA anymore. This is not your country if people continue to allow this to happen. And I'll tell you real live examples. Tell you names of people that are in power over you, have more power than you do. You can hold your birth certificate up, and they have a foreign birth certificate, and they can say, we have the government rule of law, get out of our country, or stop, or do whatever they want to tell you to do. And they're not even from here. They're invading us from the top down. And that's what's going on. I'll give you names and agencies and people that condone this type of stuff. I'll read you the articles, and you can read between the lines and tell you how power structures are allowing this to happen. Charles Van Morgan in the morning. Come on in and join me. So, yeah, we got quite a few people in here. Like, share, comment. We're talking Charles Van Morgan. We're talking about being invaded by illegal aliens, by foreigners, people that don't hold a United States certificate, and they're in positions of power in our government. And they have the rule of law. The rule of law is what makes it a crime to do something where they can lock you in a box or even make you go to another country if you violate that rule of law. And when they have control over the rule of law, they decide whether or not what you do is legal or illegal. And they've already decided that them coming from a foreign country illegally that violates our immigration laws is not illegal anymore. They wipe that slate clean and start them over, and they don't have a United States citizenship from birth, and they're illegal. And people in power are selling us out for their votes and putting them in positions of power. So, Charles Van Morgan Show, come on and join me. We'll give you names, and you can find the numbers well online. These agencies and these government officials that are selling us out under the pretext of treating foreigners good, under the pretext of treating them fair. That's not fair to us, though. And foreigners should not be treated wrongly. They should not be treated illegally. They should not be mistreated. We should treat them according to our laws, our immigration laws, our rule of law. But they are getting more rights than you are. That's just a fact. That's not gossip, or it is gossip. Gossip can be truthful. It's not rumor because it's substantiated. There's a difference between rumor and gossip. Rumor is unsubstantiated things that spread where people talk about different things. Like Rock Hudson, it was rumored that he had AIDS. It was unsubstantiated at the time before it was substantiated, because it was thought that he was known that he was a homosexual, and he started losing weight. There was no fact to prove that he had AIDS, but the rumor spread that he had AIDS. And then it came out that he did, and he admitted it. So then it wasn't a rumor anymore. Rumor is unsubstantiated stuff that people think, but they don't have proof to it. They don't have concrete evidence proof to it. Gossip is stuff that's spread about a person, personal stuff, that has truth to it. That has substantiated fact to it. Now, not all gossip is false. Some of it's true, and a lot of it's true. It's frowned on by our systems of power because it's hearsay. It's hearsay that has factual basis to it. And just like hearsay is not allowed in a court of law, hearsay is an out-of-court statement other than one offered by the declarant at the present trial or hearing, offered into evidence as proof of the matter asserted. In order for a courtroom, and I'll explain to you why I'm telling you all this. There's our rooster, predicted behavior of animals and people. And I don't believe in evolution, but you can predict people's behavior. That's the whole thinking. A lot of the thinking, not like precise sciences, like when the heat of how cold it is before water freezes precisely, but within certain ranges, you can predict human behavior. That's the science of sociology. So you can, rumor and gossip is not accepted in our court systems, in our court of law, supposedly. Now they do whatever they want to do in our Tennessee courtrooms, but we as power to you, the people, the government, putting the government in your favor, can listen to a lot of rumor and a lot of gossip, because a lot of it's substantiated. Rumor isn't substantiated, but a lot of gossip is substantiated, and a lot of gossip isn't necessarily bad. It's truthful information about people that's backed up on a factual basis, but it's a lot of hearsay. And we can go on hearsay a lot. We can find out information that is second and third hand that's based on facts by gossip. So listen to what your fellow Tennesseans are saying about specific individuals, and see if there's any factual basis to it. And a lot of gossip is absolutely true, and it's not necessarily bad. Like the gossip about me, that it was wrong what they did to me. That's substantiated gossip about me. And I haven't gone away. I'm still here. We're still here fighting the people in power that are not even from America. They're from another country. They're not even from here. They shouldn't be here. They're illegal, and I'm not. People in power they came over here illegally, violated our laws, and people in power have wrongfully given them legal status. They still shouldn't be here. And we can flip the script. Now, maybe we can let them be here if they start going by our laws, but we don't have to give them positions of power above us. We can treat them equally, at least equally. They're not even treated equally. They're given special rights that we don't have from other countries coming in here. And that is gossip, but it's based on substantiated facts that I can show you and prove to you. And it's better than rumor, because rumor has no substantiated facts. It's just what people thought. Rumor was what happened to Rock Hudson until it was admitted that he did have AIDS, and then it wasn't rumor anymore. And you all know the gossip. You talk to people, between people, about stuff that you know happened. You've seen it. And it's gossip, but it's true. Sometimes it's secondhand. So these people from foreign countries are violating our laws and taking over our country, taking over our government. It is a horrific situation. There was a protest against ICE, immigration officials, here in Knoxville just a few days, happened all over the country. Aiken, and I'll read you the name of it, the organization that is pro-illegal immigration, and they fight for the rights in the United States of America for foreigners that have no right to be here, protest in America. And they've got a right to hold up and protest whatever signs they want to. We got the right, through gossip known facts, to spread the word that these people are supporting the takeover of our government and the extradition of American citizens and the rule of law against us and in their favor. They're taking it over from the top down, because people in the top, your elected officials that you have voted in, for the most part, are crooks and criminals. And they're allowing this to happen because they're maintaining their power. Anything that maintains the power of people like Bill Haslam, he's all more welcome to, because he doesn't care about America. Bill Haslam doesn't care about America. He doesn't care about Tennessee. He cares about himself and maintaining power. So whatever he needs to do to maintain power, then he can do it. If he can get a voter base from other countries by illegal people coming in here, then that's what these people in power will do. They're power mongers. They're willing to break any laws or any norms or any morals. They're willing to step all over the Constitution to maintain their power. You say, how does illegal foreigners, illegal aliens is what they are, how does them coming over here and being allowed to stay in the United States and giving them the citizenship when we shouldn't, how does that maintain their power? Well, if you give them citizenship, if they come over here illegally, they don't have an American birth certificate. They don't have, sure don't fall down, they don't have a selective service registration. How many of y'all have a selective service registration where you were required to register for the draft? Like if you were born in the 60s and 70s, you had to register. I don't think they have that anymore. You're required to register for the draft. They don't have that. They weren't required to register for the draft. Why not? Because they weren't here in America. They were in another foreign country that we would have had to fight them to protect America, to protect our government systems and our courthouses. And now they're over here. Although they weren't born here, we had to fight them to keep the government open. Now they're part of the government that we kept open, that we would have had to fight them to keep open. Pretty good trick on us, isn't it? Pretty good trick. You can say that's gossip. It's truth. There's factual information to substantiate that. People in power are helping them do their dirty deeds to maintain their power because they vote for them. Let's see how many people we got in here. So let's look at the comments. Someone said, Jacob Burns said hi. Are you a cop? No, I'm not a cop. I am not a cop. I was a good one when I was, but I'm not now. Thoughts on Jews. Jews are God's chosen people. Jesus is a Jew. Thoughts on the war in Sardis. I don't know. I have to look at it. They took our jobs. Yeah, they're taking our jobs. They sure are. Let's see what it says here at the bottom. Who is they? What will people from planet Pluto, being the us are people, some of these people, someone help you, Grandpa. Okay. Ooh, I'm so hurt from social pressure. Yeah, Trump, you too. Let's see. There is a mega maggots nutcase. I'm not a mega maggots nutcase. I'm an American citizen born in America that thinks that I have a right to this country, just like every American above foreigners. You literally from England, like the whole argument of this is stupid. Almost nobody is from where they currently are if you go back of enough in ages. Yeah, that's a real good argument, but we don't have tomorrow here today. We have today, and immigrants came over here in a different time. This is today. So if you say, well, people from other countries can take over America because people from America took over America, then you just have a complete mass chaos. This is today. You can't say because something happened yesterday that you allow it to happen today, because times are different. The times, they are a-changing. So that makes no sense. That's a frivolous circular argument. Jude by, let's see, money ain't worth shit, bro. I just got here, but clowning on illegals ain't a bad pastime. I'm not clowning on illegals. I'm telling you the fact. It's a scary thing. Child's play. Hope you have zero right to heaven because of how disgusting you're to people just for not having a paper created by man. Yeah, a paper created by man. It ain't a paper, it's land that is limited. And that paper came from a tree that it comes from a different country. I mean, the arguments are crazy. Let them move in your house, take over your house, take over your government, tell you what to do. We're talking about the government. Imagine how easy someone like this is. Yeah. Power to the real. This man has been allowed to vote for most of his life. Can you imagine that? Yeah, I have, and I still vote. And I still vote. And you'd like to take that right away, wouldn't you? But you ain't going to, because you know, like I said, out of my cold, dead hands, you know what I got in my hand? Take it out. This country's worth fighting for. What about Dixon? What extra rights are immigrants getting? The right to vote. They're getting in public office the right to vote you out, the right to make you go to another country. Trump is the Messiah guiding line. He's not the Messiah. No due process for them, no due process for us. Representatives Dixon Mayes, who are you talking about? But let's be real. Trump is doing everything he can to dismantle that. Yes, he is. You're too old to be this ignorant. Too old to be ignorant. Yeah, I have an education. Where'd you go to college at, dude? You like one of them idiots that wants to run down reading a book? We only have an illusion of freedom. That's right. Have you tried Dixon Mayes? I need to do that. Let's see. A boomer that never heard of the Constitution or due process is pretty cynical. I've heard of due process. Yeah. The immigration office in Washington County said that they have not been notified yet of a request from them that would have a legal status on this property, as it has a property that has, okay, I don't know what they're talking about. ICE, baby, that's right. Melania should go back. Help in the Florida, that's right, Tyler Biden. You're on to something interesting. That's right, I am. Any remedy to cure Grumps, it's hurting very bad. Okay, deport Obama. Hey, if he ain't got a... They are counter, man. 1966, we need help in Minnesota. That's right. So thank you all for coming on board. We're talking about the counterfactual movement. Factual, you know, the God's honest truth. How about the truth? Anybody ever heard of that? I mean, you could have all this stuff that's a bunch of hype and a bunch of stuff that doesn't make any sense, or you can listen to the Constitution, listen to the rule of law. And we have a right to the country that we were born in, and how dare illegal foreigners, people born in another country, they're aliens, come and take over our country and take over our government. And what's even worse than these illegal aliens that come from other countries, what's even worse than them? They're invading our country, there's no doubt. President Trump, when he was running for office, literally said, the economy is bad. He admitted to that. and we was running for office on the issues. And he's one of the greatest politicians. Even if you don't like him, you got to admit he's one of the greatest politicians that ever lived, as far as being able to win over the populace. And Biden was a great politician, being able to win over the populace. I'm not taking a side on the political spectrum as far as a Democrat or Republican, a Demorat or Republican. I'm not taking a side. I'm taking a side of the populace, the American people. So if you're a Democrat, then I agree with you. If you're an American-born citizen, if you're a Republican, then born in America with a birth certificate, then I agree. Then I'm on your side. I'm for the populace. I have certain positions that I take that are based on a worldview that is for America, and a Christian worldview, but I'm not either party, and I'm not against immigrants. I'm not. What I'm against, and what's going on, and you can have all these little arguments about all kinds of baloney that you can bring up. That's what lawyers do. They get a little molehill, a little something that's truth, that's insignificant, but it's truth. And then they put it in an area where it don't belong, has nothing to do with the situation or circumstance. I mean, I went to law school. I studied stuff for 4 years. I know how lawyers change the truth and lie, and that's what people, there's little lawyers in here. And I know what you're doing. I've been educated in their law schools. And they take something that's true, that's over here, and doesn't have anything to do with the facts of a situation that you're trying to argue with guilt or innocence, and they put that little grain of truth in that situation that doesn't even belong there and blow it up like it matters, and able to change reality based on a truth that doesn't even belong where they're trying to put it. I know what you're trying to do. Let's look at reality and put things in their proper perspective where they're at, and break it down Barney style for a bunch of idiots. And not all you people, y'all are idiots. I've talked to Tennesseans. I'm not your average. I'm not a novice. I've been around a while. I've lived and seen things. I've talked to Tennesseans, unlike most of y'all. I'd say 99.9%. And this is why you need to listen to me. I've knocked on thousands and thousands of doors all across the state of Tennessee. I've talked to citizens in the state of Tennessee. So I've got their pulse. I know what Tennesseans think. I know what Tennesseans think about immigrants. I know exactly what they think. I didn't have a poll that I read in a newspaper put out by some biased agency. The Gallup poll, the dumb poll. You can get a poll to believe whatever you want to believe. They manipulate the numbers using statistics. I've talked to people, my boots on the ground, thousands and thousands of doors when I run for public office. And here just recently, this year, I've talked to thousands and thousands of Tennesseans. I've got the pulse. I know what people think about immigrants. You can call them immigrants. I call them illegal aliens that are taking over our governments, what I call them. And that's where the problem lies. They're taking over our government, and they're getting power over us and telling us what to do. And they have no American birth certificate. And people in power are giving them legal status. They can't give them a birth certificate here because they didn't have one because they wasn't born in the USA. They're giving them legal status, selling us out to maintain power for their votes, to help keep them in power. We'll give you legal status if you will vote for us. And damn parties are selling the populace of American-born citizens out. They can give them legal status. They can't give them an American birth certificate. If they don't have an American birth certificate, they shouldn't have more damn rights than you. They shouldn't be in our government positions of power. They were in other countries. They got influenced. They might be terrorists. They might be trying to take over this country. And a lot of them damn sure are. A lot of them are. Face the facts. It's coming to a world government, and that's the pretext. Get other people from the world that wasn't born here to take over America from the top down. And we need to combat that at the voting booth. And they're selling them out, they're letting them come over here for their votes. You give us your vote when we give you American citizenship, and we'll give you American citizenship. We can't give you a birth certificate. I've got a birth certificate. You have a birth certificate? We can't give you a Selective Service registration certificate that I earned. We can't give you that, but we'll give you the same thing that Charles Van Morgan earned by birth and by signing up for the Selective Service and agreeing to go to war to fight for our way of life, to protect ourselves from the foreigner that came over here illegal. We'll give him what he's earned for nothing, except for something that you shouldn't have in the first damn place, is a right to vote, because you ought to have United States citizenship before you have a right to vote, and the citizenship shouldn't be given to illegal immigrants, illegal aliens. And the reason why is because they're not from here. They weren't born here. They're born in other countries. They know the other country's way of life, and they're taking over and putting their government in power over here from the top down. Now, that's what I think, and that's not rumor. I can show you it is rumor, but it's substantiated rumor, so it's gossip against particular people. So, because I can show you names of people that don't have American citizenship, American birth certificate. They've got American citizenship because it was given to them. They don't have American birth certificate. They do not have a Selective Service registration. They never agreed to fight for this country. They probably wouldn't fight for this country. They're fighting against this country, and they have been given American citizenship handed to them for their votes to keep people in power, and to destroy our nation and our way of life. And they are protesting at our immigration centers. And Donald Trump said that he knew when he ran for office, and I'm not a mega nut, I believe in America. And he said that the worst problem was not the economy, although he knew that was bad, that in his estimation, he's been all over the country, the worst problem in America was illegal immigration. And he said that, and I don't care who it is, if it's Donald Trump, if it was Ronald Reagan, if it was George Bush, if it was Jimmy Carter, whoever says that they need to get rid of illegal immigrants, then I would be on their side. It's not about the person, it's about the policy that protects America. And you all say, well, it's about that's where you get this little granule and you put it somewhere where it doesn't belong. Because I voted for Donald Trump, you call me Make America Great Again, and say that I'm a worshiper of Donald Trump. That's not true. I love America. I love my country. I love our way of life, and I don't want it to be destroyed. And they are protesting in America right now, getting American rights from citizens that don't belong here. And I'll tell you the names, and you can get the numbers. Complain to your senators. Complain to people. And they're reluctant to do anything about it because they know that they've got votes. Illegal aliens have votes, and they want to please them for their votes and go against people with a birth certificate and with a Selective Service registration. And if you don't think this is serious enough, if you have children, grandchildren, or loved ones in America that were born here, explain to them why the country that you handed off to, or that you're growing up in, a foreigner, is going to have more rights than you are going to be telling you what to do. Somebody from another country, from Argentina, is going to be telling you, you do this in your country. I'm from Argentina. Come over here and say, this is the rule of law because I'm in government power and you got to do this. Or you got to leave your country and we're going to deport you to Argentina. You say, but I don't know nothing about Argentina. Never came from there. Don't have any family from there. But in Argentina that wasn't born here is going to tell you, you go to Argentina, we're deporting you. You say, well, that's not illegal. And yeah, it is. I'm from Argentina. I'm over the power. I'm over the rule of law, and I adjudicate, or I rule that it's illegal for you and your birth certificate to be here. All people with birth certificates that were born in America are deported to Argentina. This is our country now. It's the rule of law. They could literally do that. They got the hands of power. They write the laws. They are the legislator, influence the legislators. They can literally do that. And I'm telling you, that's exactly what they're attempting to do. If you stand up against them, they'll have you deported to the country that they came from. It is literally an act of war on this country from positions of power in our government. If you don't think it's that serious, then you just hide and watch and give the country away. Just hand it to them. You know, our soldiers fought and died for the Constitution, and we're just giving it to people that don't belong here. They don't belong here. And we need to go to the polls and vote. So if you disagree with me, then we'll vote you out too. I don't care who you are. We're not giving up our country. We're not giving up our country to people that don't have an American birth certificate, that wasn't born in this country, that doesn't go to our schools and have our environment and talk to our friends and family, is not socialized in the United States, doesn't agree with our way of life, that came over here from another country, agrees with their way of life, and come over here and bring their way of life and their country over here and their family and friends, and you get the hell out of here. And that's exactly what's on the way in the very near future if we don't fight it. And President Trump agreed with me. And it ain't about President Trump. And I know what Tennesseans think. I know exactly what they think. I'm going to get fixing ready to tell you. Hang on, because I've talked to them. I've knocked on hundreds of doors. I know what. And Tennesseans are right. The populace is right. But I'm spreading some gossip, some truthful gossip. Not all of it's bad. It's hearsay, and it's also stuff that I know. And rumor that's unsubstantiated, but I'll give you some more. I'll substantiate it, like the rumor with Rock Hudson. Before we knew that he had AIDS, people said he's got AIDS because they knew he was a homosexual, and they knew that he was losing weight. And then he came out and admitted it, so it was rumor that it was substantiated, so it's not rumor anymore. Because after it's substantiated, it's not rumor. So this is a little better than rumor that you're going to get. And I'll tell you what Tennesseans think about foreigners. And I agree with it, the populace in Tennessee. Charles Van Morgan Show. So like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like what I'm saying. I'm telling you unbridled truth. I have a doctor of jurisprudence, so I know the law. I know we're giving the law to them to rewrite it. They rewrite history. They tell you that didn't happen, this happened, yeah. And they put history in the wrong place. They won't tell you this is like the colonial days when anybody should be able to come over here. No, it's not. This is 2025. It's not in the 1800s or the 1700s. It's not like the days when Columbus discovered America. This is 2025. If Columbus come over here today, we wouldn't let him come over here unless he went through a legal process. There's more people. It's a different time. It's a different planet. I mean, come on. Don't put that little granule of truth and put it where it don't belong. Don't put... When Columbus came over here in 2025, it's a different time. We've got to protect our borders. We have terrorists. There's more people on the planet. That's about a stupid argument, and it don't fly. So I'll tell you what Tennesseans think about foreigners, because I got my hand on the pulse. I know what they think. I knocked on doors just a few months ago running for public office. And if you don't think it done any good, then check out my channel. It done a hell of a lot of good. So Charles Van Morgan in the morning. Subscribe to the channel, and we're putting out some truthful information. I have a Master of Arts in sociology. The emphasis is in criminology from the University of Tennessee here in Knoxville. I know what I'm talking about. I am not a kid, and I have lived a long life. Hope to live a lot longer. It puts me in danger out here fighting against illegal aliens because they're in positions of power. They rule. They have our government. They have bullets. Illegal foreigners, illegal aliens have bullets that you paid for that can shoot me, because they have government bullets because they're in the government. So they can use the forces of our governmental control to kill me. And they might damn sure try. Good luck with that. But I'm putting myself at risk doing this. This is not for my benefit. This is for your benefit. I'm just telling you the truth about things. And you can look around and see it yourself. So Charles Van Morgan Show. Unbridled truth. I'm not, the government's not got their hand over my mouth or telling me which way to go, guiding me on whatever, riding on my back. I'll tell you the truth about things. If they're in government power now, they're most likely 99.9% chance they're dirtbag thugs, and we need to vote them out. And I have a business degree, Bachelor of Science and Associate degree. I know what I'm talking about. I've read the literature. And a lot of people, Tennesseans, know the same thing that I know. You all know this. You look around, you hear the gossip and the rumors. Listen to the gossip and the rumors. A lot of times it's true. It's the informal way that people spread messages and get the truth outside institutional means. They have institutional means that are a bunch of lies. I mean, they have judges that adjudicate a lie. They have judges that adjudicate an illegal alien in America. Here's American citizenship. They might even forge a birth certificate for them. I don't know. But our extra institutional means of getting the truth out about power to you, the people, about fighting for the Constitution, is through gossip and rumor. It's a good way to spread messages, informal message. It's frowned on in the court system because they don't need it. They put the rule of law to falsehoods by their adjudicative rulings. A lot of them are false, wrong, based on faulty facts and lies and not the truth. Our judicial system has been infiltrated by crooks and criminals. You can't rely on it. People say, well, judge ruled that. That's the truth. Look at what the judge ruled and see if it matches up with reality. Don't be gullible. Don't be gullible and go along with the program. What a judge says may or may not be true. They put the weight of law and legitimacy on it. That's how they do it. They say, well, this is legitimate. This is what happened because a judge said this. Because, that's not true. That's not true. A judge said that because he's upholding the legitimacy of the people in power. He's not ruling for facts and truth. He's ruling to maintain power by the elite group. He's ruling for Mr. Haslam, putting the weight of law on what he wants to be the law, what he wants to be the truth. It may or may not be the truth. And that is the fact that you'll hear nowhere else. Challenge our system of government. Challenge our people in office. Are they telling you the truth? Challenge judicial rulings. Are the judicial rulings correct? Do they comport with the Constitution? A lot of times, no, they don't. They trample on the Constitution. Judges do. Because illegal foreigners, illegal aliens, people not born in America, people that don't have a Selective Service registration, people that weren't socialized in America, that have foreign influence, foreign friendships, they grew up in other countries, some of them, are in America and promoting the other country's way of life in America. This is going to be the United States of Mexico or the United States of Argentina. They'll have to put several names on it. It'll be a world America. It won't be an America where people that were born here have substantial rights. It's going to be a government controlled by other people. And we'll tell you the people, names, dates, and places. Other people have infiltrated our government. And we need to stop that at the voting booth. And we're on our way to the bridge, and we'll tell you their names if we get there. Thank y'all for joining me. You won't hear this unbridled truth anywhere else from somebody that knows what they're talking about. If you think you know better, then you just go on your own way, or you can say whatever you want to. I believe in the marketplace of ideals. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it because it's the truth. Spread it by rumor. Spread it by gossip all over the internet, all over the world. Power to you, the people movement. Getting back to the facts and the truth. Standing against the people in government power that lie. Standing against judges that adjudicate falsehoods for foreigners and give them the rule of law over you. That's what we're doing. Question. Don't be gullible. Just because somebody said something that's a high public confluting official or somebody in the legal system, that doesn't mean they're telling the truth. Doesn't mean it at all. Look at the reason why they made the decision. Who are they working for? Who butters their bread? And you'll be able to see why they made the decision that they made. That is counter to facts and counter to the American populace. People in government power are working against you for their own benefit. That's the truth. So many people we have in here. Thank y'all for joining me at the Charles Van Morgan Show. Spread the video if you like to hear unbridled truth from a true American journalist, best qualified journalist you've ever seen, and willing to tell you the truth at my own expense. How long we'll stay on here depends on how well funded we get to put out the truth. This is not conspiracy theory. This is facts. I'll tell you names and dates and times and places. A conspiracy theorist won't tell you that. I know the law. I know what defamation is. It's not defamation if it's true. Defamation is false communication. Disseminated, unprivileged false communication disseminated to at least a third person that tends to lower someone in the standing of the community. It is not false communication. You can spread truthful information about somebody that tends to lower them in the standing of the community. Now, the government spreads false information that tends to lower me in the standing of the community by privilege, because defamation is unprivileged false communication. Judges are privileged. They can put out defamation, and it's privilege. You can't sue a judge for defamation. They can say whatever they want to in a courtroom. So judges stamp the weight of law to defamation and hide behind privilege. That's what they do. So read your judicial rulings. It's defamation stamped with the weight of law. They're completely protected. And before you know it, we're going to have illegal foreigners. They have infiltrated our legal system. I'll give you names. People from other countries that don't have American citizenship, that don't have American Selective Service, that are lawyers in the United States of America. And they won't let me, people in America that are infiltrate our law enforcement agencies, that have power over, that have rank, high-ranking officials, that are dangerous to people. I've met them personally. I know who they are. They're thugs. They're dangerous to America. They're wicked people. And we'll talk about them. Put their names out. Show you their pictures. Who does that? Charles Van Morgan. Breaking news, unbridled truth that they don't want me to say. If they take me off YouTube, I'll be on Rumble or Telegram, as long as the show is funded. And we're building. We're going to go across the state and print news if we get funded. If we continue to go on the same course we're going on, and I get a lot of good comments and a lot of appreciation, but we got to get funded or we can't do this. Social movements are able to prosper because of resources. Resource mobilization theory. Look it up. If you don't have resources, you can't get funded. And this channel will go away unless we get funding. And we're going to figure out a way to do it. If we don't, then there's other things we can do besides putting my life in danger. And it is very much in danger. I'm standing up to people in power. I'm standing up to people who have an unlimited amount of bullets to sniper fire me and get by with it, because they can murder me and say it's all right to murder me. It was justified when it's not. I'm not saying to murder anybody. I'm saying to go vote them out. Change the rule of law to put them in the pokey, put them in jail. That's where they belong. That's where Bill Haslam belongs. And that's where Governor Bill Lee belongs. He put me in jail falsely. He couldn't get it through a jury, but that's what they do. They put your name in the papers with a mugshot defaming you like Rosa Parks. So, but if you're an African American, you get arrested. And I didn't even break the law. I did nothing wrong. She broke the law at the time. The law shouldn't have been in place, but I didn't even break any laws. I was abiding by the laws. So, and they defame you, and a judge signs a false arrest report, a false warrant, but they know they can't get it through a jury, because I'd talk to the jury just like you're the jury and say, hey, that didn't happen. They said this happened. Where's the video that it happened at? So they try to rewrite history, but they put a mugshot on you to defame you. So I'm proud of that mugshot. They tried to defame me by judicial privilege, because judges sign off on lies, and they can do that. They're allowed to do that. So let's see how many people we have in here. We'll continue this narrative. Tell you some name, dates, and places of people that have infiltrated our government that we need to change the laws. We need to vote and get people out of office, change the laws, and deport their hind ends to their country that they belong in. They don't belong in America. They don't belong to have power over us. Let's see what we got in here. So yeah, we got a few people. And we thank you all for joining us. So, Charles Van Morgan Show. Let's see what comments we got in here. Let's see. Nayland, how about you relax? Things are such a mess. Yeah, they are. My husband and live in America. We actually got harassed for being an interracial couple in public in 2025. What? This guy is, life is so good, he has to invent problems to keep himself occupied. Someone's tripping mad. Okay. We have a constitution for a reason. That's right. Bullish stalker. That's right. We have a constitution for a reason. And judges Trump on it. What makes Trumpers so stupid? Drugs, inbreeding. Oh yeah. Let's get on here and I mean, it's just classic social pressure. Let's get on here and insult, and when they're speaking truth, let's try to keep them from speaking the truth by insulting them and saying bad stuff about them, and they'll go away. They get their feelings hurt. No, this isn't about feelings. And if you're so stupid that you think you can hurt my feelings and I'll go away, we're talking about the Constitution, our way of life, and I'm just going to give it up because you hurt my feelings. Are you that stupid? Stay on here and keep being stupid and see if it stops me. What will stop me is not stupid, it's lack of resources. And that's what we're asking for today, resources to mobilize, to get rid of these illegal immigrants. And we'll talk about the protest that they had in Knoxville, Tennessee about 2 days ago. Like, share, comment, and contribute so that we can have resources to mobilize and get rid of these crooked politicians in our government that have infiltrated it, that are taking over our government. Illegal aliens are in power in America. Tennesseans, illegal aliens are in power in Tennessee. I'll tell you the names, dates, and places. 7100%, that's right. Thank you. Illegal aliens are crooked as hell. And they're in our government. And they're taking power over us. They're writing laws to make us illegal, to make what we do against the law. You say you want to abide by the law. Whose laws you want to abide by? People want to be honest and fair. Whose laws do you want to abide by? Do you want to abide by Argentina's laws? People born in Argentina. Yeah, go back to Argentina. That are over here in America selling us Argentina's laws. That is so crooked. So we got some supporters in here. Thank y'all so much. 100%. Thank y'all. So we got people from foreign countries, that illegal aliens that have invaded us, come across the border. That's an act of war. And now the people in power who have sold us out. That's so horrific. People in power that people voted for, that lied to you, that went in our churches and said, I'm a good Christian. Look, I tell the truth. I'm running for governor. I'm a Christian. I'll be honest. And then they sell us out to foreigners. It's propaganda. I'm not making a video in a church. I'm out here standing on the Constitution, American sidewalk. You got a right to shout out people in government power. Vote them out. Vote them out. You got a right to say that on American sidewalk. Do you? Not really, I don't think. Thank y'all for contributing. We got some supporters. In America, we're supposed to have the First Amendment. That's the first right to speak out against our government when we don't think it's doing right. And it don't even have to be the truth. We're supposed to be allowed to speak out against our government. And if people don't believe what I'm saying, you don't have to listen. You can stand out on the sidewalk next to me and say, he's not telling the truth. This is the way it is. But we can't even tell the truth about illegal immigrants in America, about invading our country. We can't even run for government office in America because foreigners are running this country to a large degree. People from Argentina and other countries are running America right now. That's the reason why it's a hate field. So vote. Go vote. We can't even say that. America is so bad in corruption, top to bottom. That's right, and that's what we're fighting. People cannot be illegal. People can't be illegal. People can't be illegal. Murder can't be illegal. People can't commit a crime and make them be an illegal person. I'm not saying people are illegal. The things they do are illegal, okay? So a play on words, because it's a play on words. So we let all the foreign countries come in here because we can't we're going to have a play on words. They're not illegal people, so let them in here. They violated the law. What they did was illegal conduct. So let me rephrase it. People aren't legal. That's right. They're not illegal. They're illegal when they're over here. They're not illegal when they're in their country. So they're not illegal depending on where they're at. So, take that little granule of truth that people aren't illegal. I agree with you. God loves everybody. People ain't illegal. They're not. But when they come over our border without an American birth certificate, without a Selective Service registration, and their own American soil, and they don't go through our legal processes, then they're illegal. If they go back to their country, where they're from, and get the hell out of America, then they're not illegal. So you take your little granule of lie, and so people ain't illegal, so you come over here and invade our country and we can't do nothing about it because people ain't illegal. See how they take a little granule of truth and put it somewhere where it don't belong, put it in America, and say, they're not illegal, so they can come over here even though they violate their laws. And then this is the big issue, and then they will rewrite our laws to make it where they're not illegal, and it's not illegal for them to even be here because they write the law. And then they say, and this is the scary thing, and then they're going to say that you and your birth certificate and your Selective Service registration that protected this country from them when they were in another country, that they would have fought us to take over by bullets, have come over here, invaded our country, sneaking across the border. Then they will say that you're illegal. They'll write the law, say people with birth certificates in America are illegal, and you need to go to our country, and then you're illegal in our country. So what you want? That's a scary thing. And politicians will let them do that as long as they maintain power. Like, share, comment. Thank you all for funding the channel. Resource mobilization. We'll get some money to facilitate this message. They had a protest. John Goodman. They had a protest in Knoxville just a few days ago. And out at the processing center out in West Knoxville, protesting the arrest and apparent they're going to deport a immigrant from another country. He doesn't have American birth certificate. So people in America and maybe some foreigners said that are protesting his deportation. And a lot of the protesters, I wonder how many of them are illegal foreigners fighting for their illegal brothers and sisters to stay over here in our country. And illegal immigration, fighting illegal immigration, is something that our government's supposed to do. American citizens ain't supposed to come out of your house and grab hold of illegal immigrants and carry them across the border. That's not our job. It's not. We vote people in office, in power, to do that. Just like executions. I agree with the death penalty. I don't want to execute people. It's not my job. It's called vigilantism. We have a government set up, a constitution, And the government set up, the Constitution, the Supreme Court has ruled it's not cruel and unusual punishment to execute people. And we have a Constitution set up to where people in the government, people that we vote in office, are supposed to do that for us. That's why they run for our power. I mean, they run for our power. The power sometimes is things that nobody wants to do, really. No good person wants to do. It's not a pleasant job. It is a sad thing to do certain jobs. It's not pleasant. Actually, it's not a sad thing to execute people. It's a happy day. It's called justice. You murder somebody, we don't do vigilantism to kill you. And I'm getting to a point. Just listen to me. We pay and elect our government officials. We buy them bullets. We pay for the electricity that goes through their veins that takes them out of the world. We don't take them in our house and execute them. That'd be vigilantism. That's why we vote for people in office to do that job for us. As a consensus, the American populace, and we vote for people to enforce the rule of law and unpleasant things that they have to do. So we have voted people in office to deport illegal immigrants. That's their damn job. It's not a pleasant job. I wouldn't want to separate families. I wouldn't want to do that. That's not something. But I elect people in office to enforce the rule of law so that I don't have to do that. Now, if I run for public office and I'm out again, then I would enforce the law. I would do things that aren't pleasant to do, that people put me in office to do. So if deportations are unpleasant, and sometimes they are, I get it. We need to be good to them while we're deporting them. Maybe, allow them access to Bibles on the bus while we're taking them back across the border. I'm not saying the government should provide the Bible because, we shouldn't force religion on people. That's part of the First Amendment. But we could allow private citizens to offer them a Bible while we're sending them across the border and feed them well while we take them across the border. And when we get to the border, get them off the bus and put them in their country. That's not pleasant to do. That's not. And make them come over here the legal way. If they violate our laws, they should never be able to come over here because they've already shown they're not going to abide by our law. Any person that has come over here illegally, violated our laws, snuck across the border, shouldn't be allowed over here ever again. They've already shown you they're not going to abide by our laws. They need to come over here a legitimate way, which is what I'm getting to. The point is this. One of the points. I've talked to Tennesseans all over the United States. They agree with legal immigration. You ought to come through the right processes. They agree with that. They do not agree that foreigners should have more rights than them or their children. If they come over here the right way, then they should be treated equal, not better. Right now they're being treated better. And American citizens believe that they shouldn't be mistreated. If they come over here the right way, they're welcome to it. But they think that illegal immigrants and immigrants, even the ones that come over here the right way, are being treated better than they are. That's the rumor. That's the gossip. It's not just rumor because it's not rumor. Rumor's unsubstantiated. Gossip is substantiated, factual stuff that doesn't go through the official channel. So it's gossip. It's substantiated. They're being treated better than American citizens. People even that come over here legally that don't have American birth certificates, American Tennesseans think, I know, I've talked to them. And everybody's welcome. Here we go, the welcome sign. So like, share, comment. So we're getting a lot of welcome. We're getting a lot of resources to mobilize protecting America, protecting the Constitution. I mean, it's real simple. This movement's not anything sophisticated or fancy or stuff we have to go through hoops of convince you what we're trying to do. It's real simple. You ever heard of the Constitution? You ever heard of that? What was it, 1776? And we're standing on the Constitution. We're standing on the Constitution, our rights, and I'm using our right of freedom of speech. So let me get past this. Okay. So we're standing on the Constitution, on our rights as American citizens, on our birth certificates. Tennesseans believe that we don't need to mistreat foreigners. And I don't believe we need to either. I don't condone any mistreatment of foreigners, of people from other countries, whether illegal or legal. I don't believe we ought to mistreat them. I believe that we ought to enforce our laws, and when they do get legal status, if they come through the legal process, we shouldn't treat them better, give them special rights. And as one of our senators thinks he's a cowboy, doggone it, that's what we're doing. I mean, does that make you understand it better if I act like I'm stupid? You know, what is the senator's name that thinks he's a cowboy? Doggone it. Doggone it, vote for me, doggone it, yeah. How about power to you, the people movement, social movement, because we believe in the Constitution and we're educated. We're not doggone idiots. And people in Tennessee believe, and I've knocked on the doors, thousands of them, believe that we should not mistreat illegal immigrants. They don't believe we should mistreat legal immigrants, but they believe that you should come over here the right way. If you shouldn't, you should be, if you're not, you should be deported. And they believe that immigrants, and I've talked to them, I know what they're saying. I don't care what the news says. I don't care what politicians say. I know what they say. I've talked to people at your front doors, not just 1 or 2 thousands. And this is what Tennesseans say. They say that they shouldn't be treated better than us. This is even foreigners that have come over here that don't have American citizenship, that don't have an American birth certificate, but they're legal. They came over here, they've abided by our laws, and they've gotten legal status, which is fine. Tennesseans agree with that. But they believe, I've talked to them, that they are being treated better than us. Because a lady told me, she goes to the grocery store. She can't fill up her basket. She has kids because she doesn't have enough money. She works hard and has to live on a budget. And people from other countries, foreigners, come over here. They go to the same grocery store. Maybe they got legal status, maybe they don't. She said they're foreigners, and they fill up their basket. Fill up their basket with food, and they use welfare benefits. She has to stay within a budget. They don't. And I'll tell you a specific incident where a foreigner from another country, show you his name in his picture. He's a dirtbag. He's caused thousands and thousands of Tennesseans to get murdered on Tennessee highways. An illegal immigrant, an illegal foreigner. He's not an immigrant. He's an illegal foreigner that has invaded this country through illegal means, has used the people in power to give him legal status because he votes for them. He supports the establishment. As long as you'll support the establishment, you can do anything you damn want to do. You can come from China, Russia, you can invade the country. And if you get over here illegally, they'll give you legal status. Just vote for them. Keep Haslam's in power. You know, he doesn't care. They're power mongers. They don't care about the Constitution. They care about staying in power, making legitimate. And they write the laws, and they have judges set up that rule in their favor every damn time. Doesn't matter if you have the truth. Spread that gossip, that judges are crooked as hell. They lie in their judicial rulings and are privileged. They have privileged lies. That's what judges in Tennessee. Judges in Tennessee, hey, Lisa Perlin, judges in Tennessee have privileged lies because defamation is unprivileged. Judges put out defamation as privileged. So judges' rulings, and for the most part in Tennessee, A lot of them are defamation, but it's privileged defamation. That's Tennessee rulings. And I'll tell you the name of a Tennessee state trooper and show you his picture that came to America, an illegal alien. He's illegal. Not only is they gave him legal status, albeit, I believe, gossip for his vote illegally against the Constitution. He doesn't have a Selective Service registration. I do. He has more power in Tennessee than I do. He's stupid as a doorknob, but he rose through the ranks because he maintains the power of people like Bill Haslam, people like Bill Lee, High Bills Lee, and Bill Hasbin, and a foreign attorney that is well documented came over here from Argentina. Now, he came through legal means. He got immigrant status, but he doesn't have American birth certificate. He doesn't have a Selective Service registration, which I have, many of you have. But he has a handed to on a silver platter, which he didn't earn because he's not educated, shouldn't have it. A judge adjudicated because he maintains the power of the elite. He has a law license in America for the reason of helping people in Argentina and America. He doesn't have a law license in Tennessee, in America, to help Tennesseans. They gave him a law license in Tennessee. He doesn't have a birth certificate, doesn't have a Selective Service registration. They gave him a law license in Tennessee. Power of the judiciary, of the influence of law, a license to defend them in American courts, not to help Americans, to help foreigners. And that's just one case I know of. How many other cases are there lawyers from other countries that have been given a law license, a special privilege, a law license and privilege? They've been given the privilege to practice law. They don't have a birth certificate, don't have American, they've been given illegitimately, I believe, American citizenship. They don't have a Selective Service registration where they would have fought for this country. They have maybe a registration, military registration from another country that would have fought us. And now they sneak over here, get legal status. They sneak over here, get legal status, and have the right, the privilege to practice law, to fight in our courtrooms, and we don't have the privilege to practice law. A lot of Americans can't practice law because they won't let us, even though we deserve to. And they have the privilege to practice law and fight against us in our courtrooms. They have the privilege to use the resources of our courtrooms against us from foreign countries. I'll tell you about a name of a person who right now in Tennessee practices law, has that privilege, has a law license privilege given to him by the Tennessee judiciary. But I'm an American citizen, got a Selective Service registration where I would have fought and died for this country. Had I been called, I registered. I made the actual act, I registered, put my name, address, where if I were called into war, I would go. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that. I have a American birth certificate. He doesn't have that. He has a license, a privilege to practice law. Wait a minute, that was accidental. He has a license to practice law, a privilege to practice law. He doesn't have two of the things I got, a birthright, but he doesn't have the two things that he should have. And I can't go in the courtroom and defend you against him and his group of people from Argentina. So Argentinians have more rights in American courtrooms, represented by a privileged lawyer that they gave a privilege to, that's from their country too. They have more rights in your Tennessee courtrooms, handed to them by the Tennessee judiciary, illegitimately, I believe, by our corrupt Tennessee judiciary. So keep voting them in office. When the 2030 election comes up to retain Tennessee judges, give them a retention election so that they can get more foreigners over here to protect Argentina. They want to protect people that's what they did. That's fact. That's not rumor. Rumor's not substantiated. They have a privileged law license, and the Tennessee judiciary will continue to give Argentinians law licenses to Argentine lawyers, and it's well documented in their brief that they went before the Tennessee Supreme Court to argue that the Argentinian should be allowed a law license in America, although he doesn't have a law degree. He's not even educated enough. His lawyer's argument why he should be a lawyer in the United States of America is so that he can be a great benefit to Argentinians in America. So get that. That's what I'll show you. I can show you where his lawyer argued in a brief before the Tennessee Supreme Court. He said the reason why you should allow him to be a lawyer in the United States of America, he's a foreigner. He doesn't have enough education. He's never graduated from American law school. I did. He's got an education in law from Argentina. And the reason you should make him, he argued for our Tennessee corrupt judiciary, the reason why you should allow him a law license, give him that privilege to practice law, although he doesn't have a birth certificate, doesn't have an American law degree, doesn't have a Selective Service registration, maybe he was registered in Argentina, and I would have had to fight him because I got American registration. His attorney argued in his brief before the Tennessee Supreme Court, you should give him his law license because he can represent Argentinians, the foreign country, in our Tennessee courts. He can be a great benefit to Argentina in America. So give him his law license. And remember this when you vote in 2030. Mr. Guzman is his name. And the Tennessee Supreme Court adjudicated and gave him his law license. So now he practices law and is a great benefit for Argentina in your courtrooms above you. He's not a great benefit, I don't believe, to Tennesseans. He fights for Argentina. He's got the privilege to practice law in America. Is that what kind of judiciary you want? A judiciary for foreigners? That's what they do. So, you won't hear this anywhere else, Charles Van Morgan. We'll tell you about another man in the government who came over here illegally. He's an illegal alien. Didn't go through the proper procedures. Snuck across the damn border. Now let's look at his position in life. Hick-a-fluting. More power than you. You got a birth certificate? He'll wad your birth certificate up, set it on fire, tell you to get the hell out of America. I am the law now. I got a position of power. Is that what you want? That's what you're getting. That's not rumor. It's substantiated fact. It's not going through their official channels. So you call it gossip. Spread the gossip. Spread the gossip. People in power are crooked as hell, letting foreigners have power over us. Illegal aliens power over us in the United States of America. I'll show you a picture of the thug. I know the thug. He came over here to this courthouse one time. This courthouse right there. And tried to, he came over to that courthouse. See the courthouse in the background? Don't let Mandy win. Say something else. I'm really getting tired of hearing the same over and over again because you can't address the whatever. You and this guy apparently was a cop and watched the dude burn in his car. That's a lie. Watch the video. I mean, look at the facts. I'm standing there inches from a car on fire trying to save somebody's life. I'm not watching anybody, dude. So that'd be a lie. That's against the facts, dirtbag liar. Are you from America? Look at that guy's citizenship that said that. Is he from America? Maybe he's a dirtbag liar. I didn't watch anybody burn to death at all. Look at that video. They're talking about the video in 2011 where the government lied against me for standing up against crooked people in power. I tried to save somebody's life. I was inches from a fire. Could have got blown off. You're on YouTube in complete safety, probably in the safety of your house, talking about something I did where I could have been dead, trying to save somebody's life. So look at the facts, dirtbag piece of dirt. Look at an officer out on the road trying to save somebody's life. I got people out of fires. In 2010, I rescued a man in a burning Jeep. The Jeep was on fire. He wasn't crunched in, and I was able to get him out of the fire. So I've risked my life to save people's lives. So get your propaganda and stay the hell in here and spread your lies, because that helps. You know, if you're stepping on people's toes that are crooked, you're going to get a lot of adverse reaction. If you're meaningless, if what you're saying is meaningless, the government's not going to give a rat's ass what you say. They don't care. You can say it all day long. It's so obvious that you're lying that they don't have to counter it. If you're telling the truth and hurting them, if you're damaging them, if your bullets are hitting them, and I'm not talking about real bullets, I'm talking philosophically, then hell yeah, they're going to try to put false stuff out there. Don't be gullible. Don't be gullible. Look behind the facts. Did I watch somebody burn to death, or was I inches from a car on fire that could have blown me to heaven, hopefully, that could have exploded right up there on there trying to save somebody's life? Look at the video yourself. See where I was standing, right by a fire, doing everything I could do to save somebody's life. While some idiots on here saying, oh, you watch somebody burn to death. Watch somebody burn to death. That was a horrific incident. How dare you say that, you piece of dirt, trying to save somebody's life? Where the hell were you? I was trying to save somebody's life, and you flip it. Oh, you was watching somebody burn to death. Watching somebody burn to death. Everybody look at that video and watch me right there on the scene doing everything I could do. It's just from being blown up. And then you say, oh, I'm trying to watch somebody burn to death. Well, I'm watching somebody burn to death, risking my life trying to save their life. Look at the facts. Watch the video. It's on the internet worldwide. Watch it. I'm proud of that. And see how the government flipped it? They said, oh, he's a dirtbag. And that's how they flip it. Somebody coming from a foreign country, they flip it and they say nobody's illegal. Yeah, they are. When they're in this country, they're illegal. See how they flip it? They flip it good, don't they? That's what lawyers do. They lie real good, don't they? Let's look at reality. Don't be gullible. Look at reality. That's the reason why they're fighting me, is because I'm telling the truth, trying to get them, trying to do a simple thing, not fight them with bullets, fight them at the voting booth. Vote these dirtbags out of office. So anything they say about me is a dirty lie. Why are they lying about me? Because if it catches on the gossip, I'm not going through official channels. Official channels are lies. I'm going through gossip, which gossip is good. It's unofficial channels. Gossip, tell your neighbor, hey, this guy on YouTube named Charles Van Morgan, he's saying that the government is rigged. It's rogue. People in power are against us. They're trying to establish their own utopia, and they're not even good for themselves. It's called Power to You, the People movement. He's getting resources and gaining power, and they're saying that he watched somebody burn to death. He says he didn't. Watch the video. See where he's standing right next to a car. He could have been killed out in harm's way while people on the internet, not in any danger at all, flipping it good, saying he's a dirt bag while he's trying to save somebody's life. That's a pretty good trick, ain't it? That's a whopping leap. That's a whopper lie, isn't it? I'm not a politician. My boots were on the ground risking my life for public safety, even somebody that did it to their damn self. And we'll talk about a sergeant, now lieutenant, with the Tennessee Highway Patrol that is, well, he's gotten legal status now. The crooked Tennessee court system gave him legal status. That is in power. He came over here illegally. He was a legal alien. Snuck across the damn border. You can sneak across the border. You know, got down. I think it's clear now. Go come across the border. He snuck across, sneaky. I'm not sneaking across the border. I'm right here on the bridge in Knoxville, Tennessee, wide open. Now, somebody might try to assassinate me. You got to look at buildings in the area. The dirtbag snuck across the border. He's a sneaky thug. Snuck across the border. He's a Tennessee State Patrolman. He's a high conflict Tennessee State Patrolman. He met me one time in that courthouse. His name is Steve Sacapone. He came over here illegally. Like I said, he snuck across the border and was an illegal alien. He don't belong here. And he doesn't have a United States birth certificate, doesn't have a Selective Service registration, and he has now gotten legal status because the Tennessee government, judges adjudicated, will give you legal status. So it's adjudicated legal status. It's not by birth. It's not by Selective Service registration. It is by a judge that represents people in power saying, here you go, here's something for free that Charles Van Morgan and Tennesseans have a right to. We'll give it to you. Gave it to him. And he's detrimental to your safety. I know he is. I know by fact. I've met the man. I'm not talking about rumor. This is substantiated facts. Steve Sacroponi gossiped that. The gossip was out years ago in 2006 when they challenged his legal status. And they said, oh, you're illegal? They found out he was illegal in 2006. When I was a trooper on the road risking my life for public safety, he was a legal alien and a trooper. Wow, imagine that. Amazing, ain't it? And that sounds bad, but he also causes death and destruction on Tennessee roadways. Wow, what a dirtbag he is. Claims to be a outstanding citizen. He caused death and destruction. I know I met him at this courthouse right here. I met him in training. I met him at this courthouse right here. Met him at that courthouse. Now, we need a special investigator's office, special prosecutor's office. We need to vote people out, special prosecutor's office to vote, get people in power that elect us, that'll get a special prosecutor's office, and go after Steve Sacroponi, investigate whether he's supposed to be here or not, and put him on a bus, send him back to the country he came from, take his damn badge off of him, and give it to an American citizen that protects society, and send him across the damn border and lower the fatality rate. He increases the fatality rate. He's responsible for you getting killed on Tennessee roadways. Yeah, I said that. Steve Sacroponi, I met him right there at that courthouse. Right there at that courthouse. While he was a sergeant then, now he's moved up to lieutenant, and he tried to inhibit my arresting drunk drivers, my cleaning up the roads, because he's an idiot. So he's part of the cause of the mass carnage on Tennessee roadways. You think that's funny? You think that people in Tennessee that have lost loved ones due to drunk and impaired drivers, do you think it's funny? I led the state in drunk driving arrests, made the roads safer than any trooper in the whole state. Do you think it's funny that Steve Sacroponi, that stood against my lowering the fatality rate, is a excuse me, is a lieutenant with the Tennessee Highway Patrol right now that continues to raise the fatality rate? He even teaches how not to arrest drunk drivers because he's a DUI instructor, I think. Came over here, not an immigrant, illegally. Here's Steve Sacroponi. Is the coast clear? I think the coast is clear. Charles Van Morgan ain't out there. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I got to cross the border. Here we are across the border. I'm illegal. And then, hey, Governor Bill Lee, I'll vote for you. I'll vote for you. Hey, Haslam. Hey, Bredesen, I'll vote for you. Give me legal status. I think Charles Van Morgan's on the way out here to get me. I'm an illegal foreigner. He's born in America. I'm not. He's got a birth certificate. I don't. He's got a Selective Service registration. I don't. I'm illegal. I'm Steve Sacroponi, THPP. I even got on with the THPP. They don't even know I'm illegal, and they find out in 2006. Hey, Bredesen, I'll vote for you if you'll give me legal status. I'll help you maintain power. We can stomp on Tennessee citizens. Watch the carnage on the damn road. Hey, I'm not being overly dramatic. I'm just telling you the damn truth about the matter. 2006, I was out cleaning out the roads. Steve Sacroponi was an illegal alien hiding out in the THPP offices. He was hiding out training in the THPP offices, teaching how not to arrest drunk drivers illegal. A journalist reported it. Hey, he's illegal. He's illegal. Steve Sacapone. Charles Van Morgan is illegal. He's not. And then what does the Tennessee government do? That's what the Tennessee government does. This is the bad part. Not that Steve Sacapone snuck across the border. That's bad. That's easy to solve. Put his sneaky ass on a bus. Provide for him a Bible. Let private citizens, if you want a Bible, Steve will let you have access to one, of course, and drive him across the border and dump him off. Saying, get the hell out of our bus. Remember this, Steve? 1, 2, 3, get the hell off the bus. It's the law. That's what he did. I remember in training, he showed videos. Steve Sacapone, when he was illegal alien, he was a trooper. Didn't have an American birth certificate. Didn't have a Selective Service. Teaching in the Tennessee Highway Patrol Academy. Teaching me. Not teaching me anything. He showed a video. I wonder where that video's at. Is it hidden? He showed a video where he was out. The truth is stranger than fiction. He was out doing a running radar in Nashville. And he stopped the car, and the guy was asking about the ticket. How fast did you say I was going? Just asking a question. I stopped speeders when I was a high rate of speed. I didn't stop them for the majority of the time. It was doing, 15, 20, 30 miles over the speed limit. Really dangerous people. He stopped the car, and the guy was asking about that. And so this is stuff I know about an illegal foreigner. Not rumor. I know. I watched the video. I've seen it. Real time. It's gossip. Not through formal channels. They won't tell you that. They won't put the video out. So he was in training. And he was showing a video of him showing how bad and tough he is. Now, granted, at that time, he is illegal. He's an illegal alien. He doesn't have American legal status. He didn't go through the proper procedure. And he's out here, the Tennessee Highway Patrol hired him as a Tennessee State Trooper illegally. They shouldn't have done that. And he's out here on American soil with a badge on, stopping speeders. And the guy's asking him a question about and this is stuff I've seen firsthand. I've seen the video. I know Steve Sacapone. He's a dirtbag. Should be put on a bus and taken across the border. And the 1, 2, 3 thing, I'll explain that. The guy he stopped for speeding is asking about the speeding ticket. Just ask him a question. People do that. You just be nice to them. And they're not signing the ticket right off. Sometimes they won't. You got a system where if you won't sign the ticket, it's not admission of guilt. It's merely stating that you've received a copy of the citation. That you're notified. And if they don't sign it, you can't enforce it because service of process. That's service of process. If you get a ticket and you don't sign it, they can't ever prove that that was you. It's not. They don't have your signature. They haven't served you. I'm not telling you, but if I got a ticket, I'm not saying this has happened before, maybe it has, and the officer won't let me sign the ticket, just gives me a copy, I don't have to come to court. I wouldn't come to court. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying I did. I wouldn't, because they're not serving you properly. That's a matter of law. I have a doctorate of jurisprudence. But he stopped the car. The guy was asking about the ticket. And he said, you got 4 seconds to sign that ticket. And then he starts yelling because he's not. Just answer the damn question, Steve. What the hell? You a privileged illegal alien? You dirtbag. Come down here and count that. Get off the bridge, Charles Van. We got 4 seconds to get off the bridge. I'll say you better count down real fast because I'm ready for you, boy. I will try to vote you out. People that put you as a trooper or lieutenant out of office. What I'll do, you'll try to break the law, won't you? He's a thug. He's worthless. He's illegal. Get him out of here. Now, he told that guy, when he's asking questions about the ticket, just answer the question. Give him a second to sign the ticket. People got a right. People are American citizens. You were not. He was even an illegal alien at the time. And he told the guy, you got 4 seconds. 1. And he starts counting out real loud on the tape. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or he counted backwards. 4, 3, 2, 1. He slams the guy on the ground. So he's slamming an American citizen on the ground. And he's not even an American citizen. That happened in the United States of America. That's what's going on now because of people in power, putting these people in power. So that's what we need to do to him. We need to load his ass on a bus and take him across the board to the border and tell him, get off the bus, get on your side of the border. You're not supposed to be over here. And if he says, wait a minute now, I went through, say, you got 4 seconds to get off this bus. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stephen slapped on across the border. That's what he did, American citizens. That's what THVP does. And I know he's illegal. I'll tell you what he did at this courthouse down here. Let me show you a picture of Stephen Sacrapone. Hey, Steve, how you doing, brother? Yeah, you're not my brother. You're a brother of somebody in another country that don't belong here. So let me show you about Steve. Rising through the ranks. Look at Steve. Yeah. Illegal, alien, and enemy of America. People in power, Tennessee government. That's Steve. Hey, there you are. Look at that badge. THPP badge. Look at that. My daddy promoted me, Hunchback of Notre Dame, promoted him, and that's when he got sergeant. Look at him sergeant stripes. 1, 2, no, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, Steve. Let's deport him. Contribute to the social movement to get rid of Steve Sacrapone. Let's look at him today. That was then, now it's today. And I'll tell you about my experience with him at the courthouse, how he inhibited arrest of drunk drivers. There he is. Look at that now. We are proud to announce the promotion of Steve Sacrapone. Look at that. Hunchback of Notre Dame. See, they was in training together. They was in training together, so he promotes him. There he is. Big old Lieutenant 4, 3, 2, 1. Look at that. Illegal alien. Illegal alien. Wow. In a badge beside the colonel. The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I'm telling you, that's what's going on. Support the movement. Help us get these dirtbags out of office. Like, share, and comment, and contribute to the movement. Give us resources to deport these people that are from other countries. And these judges are the ones giving them legal status. I have much more education than this judge, Richard Dinkins, sat behind a desk in safety and ruled against me while I was on the road in harm's way protecting the public, including him. I was protecting him, and he rules against me. And they like him. Yeah, it's about who's your daddy or who's your buddy. Where were you born at? If you got American birth certificate, don't make it damn. Does it? Wow. Yeah. That's the rogue people in government that commit the crimes of the privilege. And here's these people that gave him his law license. Right there, that lady right there gave him his law license. Open the court system to give Steve Sacrapone his law license. Connie Clark. So I applied for my law license. And just like Guzman. And he had to apply to the Tennessee Supreme Court because he didn't have an education in Tennessee. Applied for his law license. And the Tennessee Supreme Court said, we'll hear your case. Turn the lights on that you pay for. Me and you pay for the lights in the Tennessee court system. Turn the lights on for somebody, Guzman, that doesn't have a birth certificate, doesn't have a selective service. They said, American citizens, you will pay for this person that was born in Argentina. We'll turn the lights on to listen to him. We'll open our courtrooms in Tennessee to listen to Mr. Guzman's case so he can argue why he should have the privilege of practicing law in Tennessee for Argentinians in our courtrooms. I applied through the Tennessee court system to get my law license, to get my privilege to practice law, to represent you all too. I applied and said, Tennessee court system, Connie Clark, and I would like to have my law license, and I want to argue before the Tennessee Supreme Court why I should have my law license. I have a American birth certificate. I was born in America. I have a birth certificate in America. I have a Selective Service registration. I would like for you to open up your courts that are supposed to be open by the Constitution. The courts are supposed to be open to the public, American public. Foreign public? I don't think so. Should we make our court systems open and available to people that come from other countries here? That's not what the Constitution is for. I applied to the same court system. I contributed my tax money to keep the lights on in the court system. Connie Clark and the Tennessee Judiciary denied my application to appear and argue why I should have my privilege to practice law to represent you Tennesseans. They said, no, we won't open the doors for you, even though you have made the road safer than any trooper in the state for more than half a decade. We're not listening to you because Bill Haslam, the man in power, the rogue crooked billionaire, bought us with his dirty money that he stepped over bodies to get. That's the truth. But they said, Mr. Argentinian, Mr. Guzman, we'll open up our lights for you even though you weren't born here, you didn't pay taxes here, you don't have a birth certificate here, and you don't have a Selective Service registration. So they open up our court system for foreigners. So they open up a court system for foreigners and they close them for us. So here is people on the Tennessee Board of Law Examiners. Let's read this for you right here. And lying Lisa Perlin, she stopped my second attempt to get my law license. I've tried before to get them. So this guy wants to stand here. We'll get him on. Weird people. So how you doing? I'm good. So you want to hear my live YouTube? What's that? If what's that?
1 multiplied by 1 equals what?
Okay.
If you put 1 in a calculator, it says it equals 1. Okay. That is wrong. Because to multiply is to add something.
Okay. So I'm broadcasting live to
2.
I'm broadcasting live to hundreds of people. So look, can I finish my broadcast? Yeah, you can get a YouTube channel too and do that 1 + 1 stuff. And crazy people out. And crazy people on my YouTube show. So here we go. Yeah, I'm out here with boots on the ground. The people at the Tennessee Board of Law Examiners, go figure. People at the Tennessee Board of Law Examiners denied me my law license. I even tried to go through their procedure. Their procedure don't work for you. They blackball Tennesseans. They blackball American citizens and give privileges to foreigners. They can't take my birth certificate away. They might try to. They can't take my Selective Service registration away. This lady, lying Lisa. Hey, Lisa, you criminal thug, you piece of shit. Yeah, harass me in the line. She's a harasser. Harass me right there. There she is. There you are. Yeah, worldwide, you thug. That's over the Tennessee Board of Law Examiners that benefits foreigners. And lying Lisa lied to steal my second attempt to get my law license. Now she blocks Tennesseans from getting their law license. Imagine that. Justice Clark picked a now convicted federal felon who turned down my law license while she was committing an admitted felony of dishonesty, saying, although I committed no crime at all, I lack candor. So that's the Margaret Beam. Yeah, isn't she a real winner? Said it's all right for a lieutenant to lie. She could understand that, but she won't give me my law license when I didn't lie about anything. What a piece of work she is. What a piece of work. She's even in politics, so the law license is political. If you're on the right side of the politics, you get your law license. If you're on the side of Tennesseans defending them against their crooked government, she's crooked. She's a thief. She's a criminal. She's in a criminal syndicate. It's not a legal board, Lisa Perlin. It's a good board that is lawful, that has criminals in it. Did I make myself clear? I said they had a legal board. It's not a legal board. It's a legal board that is legitimate to keep people out of the legal profession. It shouldn't be, but it should put the people on the board in jail. It's a legal board that has criminals in the board that have infiltrated it. So here's the thing. Here we'll talk about. And look at this. This government closed down a bridge, and here's the bridge that has traffic backed up for miles. This is Knoxville, Tennessee. They closed the bridge down that's been open since 1898. And look at the sun spear. They closed the bridge down that's been open since 1898. Since 1898. That made it through the Depression. They had money to keep it going through the Depression. And now all of a sudden in 2025, they closed down a bridge, so everybody has to be funneled across this bridge. Traffic's backed up for miles. So let's read about Steve Sacraponi. And I'll show you about what the news says, that they gave him legal status. They shouldn't have. He's caused Tennesseans to get killed. He's an inept lieutenant now with THPP. Now these news channels are running me down. It's kind of funny. Look at this. Got 15 views. A news guy that said that I was said some dirty stuff about me. And I'm not even going to say his name. I'm not going to give him the light of day because he's not worth it. And he's got, I'll show you side by side. He's got a YouTube channel, and this YouTube channel's got 15 views. And he runs me down. Let me run him down. I'm making 15 views. How pathetic. 725,000 views. Yeah, so I got just a few more views than an idiot. So he'll bring my name up again to try to piggyback off my truth, because he's a liar. Knoxville News. It's not Knox News. It's a news reporter in Knoxville. Used to be former Sentinel writer. That is a dirtbag liar, and he's, you need to speak up. Your message is not getting out because it's a dirty lie. People don't want to hear your trash. People want to hear the truth. So let's look. Here's what Steve Sacraponi has caused. Here's what Steve Sacraponi caused, and I'll explain to you at the courthouse what he's caused. And 100 people died in traffic deaths in 2023. That number rose to 135 in deaths. Now this is just this year. This is since we're talking about 2012 when they took me off the roads, when Steve Sacraponi and the Highway Patrol took me off the road. That's that many multiplied by 13 years. The traffic fatality rate rose by 35%, and it's even 10% higher now. So it keeps on going on. So more people are killed on Tennessee roadways because of Steve Sacraponi, and he's a lieutenant now with Highway Patrol. So let's read what the newspaper said about Steve Sacraponi, and we'll read this. About an illegal alien that snuck across the border and is now in government power. And you can read between the lines. This is a newspaper article, 2025. It says here, trooper cleared to return to work after citizenship ruling. Okay, it says here, the state attorney general has ruled that state trooper placed on leave over question about his Citizenship may return to work on Thursday, April the 21st. April the 21st, 2025. So I was out leading the state and drunk driving arrest in 2025. He was illegally in the Highway Patrol in training. Trooper Steve Sacroni has been on administrative leave pay since April 11th. He was on administrative leave with pay after an unknown individual contacted several media outlets and told reporters that Sacroni is not a U.S. citizen. The Tennessee Department of Safety immediately launched an internal investigation into the reports and asked the Attorney General for advice on the issue. The investigation established that Sacroni, who has lived in Nashville since he was an infant, does not hold a U.S. citizenship. His actual status is lawful permanent residence. So, that's what they say. That's what the Attorney General says. The Attorney General's office, the same office that kept my law license away from me, is now fight to keep my law license away from me. Somebody led the state drunk driving. While he was in training, I was out getting people off the roads in harm's way. And I'll tell you what the dirtbag did. I'll tell you what a thug he is. So he is a illegal resident. Excuse me. Sacroni has served as a state trooper since 1998 and consistently received high marks for job performance, officials said. I worked with him. He shouldn't have got high marks. He should have been fired, put on a bus, deported. Commissioner Fred Phillips said, once we establish troopers' lack of citizenship, so they're admitting, they say, lawful permanent resident, yeah, right. Lack of citizenship, so he's not a citizen. It became clear that the issue of his employment involved complex legal issues. What's complex about deporting an illegal alien? For this reason, we asked the state's highest legal authority, the Attorney General, to weigh in on all these issues and advise us on how to proceed. Specifically, the Attorney General was asked, may the Department of Safety, Highway Patrol, a law enforcement agency, currently hire a person who is not a United States citizen as a trooper? Could the department legally have done so in 1998? Shouldn't have. May the Department of Safety, Highway Patrol, a law enforcement agency, currently hire a person who is lawful permanent resident of the United States as a trooper? Could the department legally have done so? In issuing the opinion, the Attorney General upheld the legality of hiring a legal permanent resident as a trooper. The document notes that the hiring was also legal in 1998. Of course they do. So they upheld the legal hiring of a trooper. So trooper is Trooper of the Year for Administrative District. Trooper Sacroni is 38, is a 12-year veteran of the Tennessee and assigned to the training division. He's assigned to training division. He didn't work the road. He's led the motorcycle officer instructor and also teaches defense tactics, DUI enforcement, and stop strip usage. The Trooper Sacroni enforcement had a strong desire to teach officer safety to all troopers so that they may have advantage in a hostile situation. He is also adjudicated faculty member of the Institute of Police Technology Management, IPTM, in Jackson, Florida. As road trooper in 1998, Sacroni is a 2002 graduate of Northwestern University Police and Staff Command. So he was in training. So he's in a building yelling at troopers, yelling at recruits in their military style training, spraying them with chemical spray. Never on the road in a hostile situation, in a real situation, hardly. So he worked in training. He didn't work the road. He was in fact in the training when I was in the trooper class. I was down there in the Highway Patrol Academy with him for 8 months. while he was yelling and completely abusive in protected office building, yelling at people they had power over because they take their job, supporting their family, while he was over here illegally. When I met him, he was illegally, not a legal citizen. It shouldn't have been employed. And of course, the Tennessee government, after they've already hired him as a trooper, they're going to say, we made a mistake, we shouldn't have hired him. No, they're going to legitimize the illegitimate. Of course, the Attorney General, the crooked Attorney General, that's hired by appointed by the governor, Governor Bredesen, then is going to say, we didn't make a mistake. What we did was legitimate. Here, we're putting out a ruling that we did legitimate. The fox guard and the hen house. I mean, really? He shouldn't be here. He shouldn't be here now. And he's a lieutenant with THP, a DUI instructor. Now, he didn't actually make DUI arrests and make the roads safer by himself at night. I did that. And he came down here. I'm going to tell you about the experience I had with him. The dirtbag that he is. Hey, Sacapone, come down here on the sidewalk. Say, get off the sidewalk, Mr. Morgan. 4, 3, 2, 1. You can keep on counting, dirtbag. You can count all day long. You can also get on a damn bus and get your ass across the border where your ass belongs. You've caused Tennesseans to get killed. That's the truth. THPP don't want you to know. That's the kind of organization. When a trooper stops you, is it somebody from America? Ask, I'm just saying, obey the law. I'm not telling people not to obey the law. But the trooper who writes you a ticket, who puts you in jail, that you may not even be drunk. They're putting people in jail that ain't drunk. Is that trooper an American citizen? Do they have a birth certificate? Do they have a Selective Service registration? The one that's putting you in jail unlawfully, illegally. I'm just saying, that's the truth. I'm just telling you the truth. So Trooper Sacapone, here's what he did. Here's what that dirtbag did. Now, I was out on the road, lowering the fatality rate. In 2008 and 9, the fatality rate was on the way down. Less people were getting killed on Tennessee roadways because of what I know from criminology, from science, is that the more people that you get off the road for their own safety, you don't have to punish them severely. You get them off the road. People that I arrested, I've had them, some thank me. Get them off the road, put them in jail, and I think we should just slap them on the wrist, because that's what they do to the highfalutin people. So he was in training, teaching people how to walk on the line in a building. No, there's hundreds of other troopers around, hundreds of cadets around. Almost no chance for him to get hurt at all. I mean, he's riding the high life, ain't he? Riding the high life now. Big lieutenant bars. Arrest that guy over there, yeah. And I was out on the road, working the road, and he was a sergeant. And since I made a drunk driving arrest, and one of these attorneys asked for my training records, and they subpoenaed somebody from the training center to come down here and testify that I had been trained for DUI enforcement and how to teach people how to walk a straight line, all the standard field sobriety tests. And I had training in field sobriety tests before Trooper Sacapone ever imagined being a trooper, before he ever imagined being law enforcement. I was in law enforcement from 1989. And he came down here because they subpoenaed him. And he met me in one of these office buildings here. And we were watching the video of an arrest that the attorney was challenging me on. And we're watching the video. So granted, he's from training, so he doesn't actually work the road or doesn't know exactly how to do that. How you doing?
How are you?
So you a lawyer?
I am.
You look like one. God bless you, I pray.
I'm not sure it's a good thing or not, but I'll take it.
Well, it is if you're a good attorney. I feel bad for you, these rogue judges in here, so I'm just saying. I've got a law license. I mean, I've got a law degree, graduated from law school, but they won't let me practice law. You know why? Because I'm honest. So that's one reason for the channel. I'm out here convicting people, and I know how to argue for sides.
Sure.
So I'm trying to convict these rogue judges live on YouTube. It's called, on American Sidewalk, the First Amendment they taught me about in law school. So they want to say I'm not honest, so they won't give me my law license. Convicted felon saying I'm not honest. Never been convicted of any crime. Huh?
What's your channel?
It's Charles Van Morgan. And I'm trying to say these judges are the ones that are not honest, and they should give me my law license instead of handing them out to foreigners. So I've got thousands of followers, so I'm not gonna stand you out.
I've heard about you before.
Yeah, you probably have. We're gonna take down this system. They'd like to kill me, but we're gonna take them down. You know how? They say at the voting booth. but I got to look around. They might arrest me for saying that, right? Yeah. God bless America, right? Yeah. So we got another fan. So yeah, these dirtbags heard about me. Won't let me practice law, but I'm not standing him out. He's heard about me. So we'll convict these dirty judges that are giving these foreigners law. So Steve Sacrapone, what he did was, up here in this courthouse, he met me. Now, I made an arrest out on the road at night by myself. Enforcing the law, lowering the fatality rate. I was making a difference on Tennessee roadway. Risking my life, getting people out of Jeeps where they were drunk. And I know they flip it. They flip it good, don't they? If you're out on the road risking your life, they say, oh, he's a bad guy. Wow, look at the evidence. Look at the videos yourself and see what you think. And you know, anything they ask me about that, I can tell you. They're sitting in the office saying, how can we rig this to make him look bad? Putting out propaganda that's a dirty, sick lie, because they're dirty, sick people. Sacapone's a dirty, sick lieutenant with the Tennessee Highway Patrol. He's a sick man. Come out here, Mr. Sacapone. I'm not afraid. You 4, 3, 2, 1. You try to hurt me and I'll defend myself. I'll defend myself. Because while you was sitting up there in training, I was out on the road, really risking my life, and you're a dirty coward that don't deserve to be here. Go back home. If I ever get in power, you better hope I don't. We'll put you on a bus. I wouldn't treat you like you tried to treat me. You sick man. You're a sick man. Pathetic. A representation of the Tennessee Highway Patrol. Hey, you like that, troopers? Look at that patch. Represents foreigners overtaking America. Spread this message. This is the truth. So anyway, I was up there at this building. We were trying to bring somebody to justice that was in a drunk driving incident where I arrested him. Steve Sacapone was called down from training, wasn't out on the road in training. And so he comes up there and we watch the video and he starts critiquing the video, telling me, well, you should have done this, should have done that, should have done this. I'm in training, I'm a foreigner from another country. And you should have done this, should have done that. I don't know how to do it, I've never done it, but I've trained it. That's how they do. I've never done it, but I know how to train it. I read a book about it. I was out on the road doing it, risking my life, and you think I'm afraid of you, Stephen Sacapone, and you fat hunchback of Notre Dame that's too chicken shit to get sprayed with chemical spray because your daddy protected you from it. You know, and I'm out on American sidewalk. I can put this out. Let's see if they stop me on American sidewalk. I used to work for UT Police, so he won't even wave. Like he did. So Steve was critiquing my video of what I did wrong. I said, dude, I was out on the road risking my life for public safety. And I did nothing wrong. I did everything right. He's in the jail safely, isn't he? Nobody got hurt. I didn't get hurt. He didn't get hurt too bad. I had to chase him down the road. He got a little road rash because he tried to run. I wouldn't let him get back in his truck and endanger society. But nobody got hurt. And he said, you didn't do this right, you didn't do that right. And I said, dude, I went through your training. I put up with it then. I'm out on the road. You're not my supervisor. My supervisor looked at that video. There's no problem with it. And it walked out. And he even left. He didn't even testify. I hurt his feelings. Big Steve Sacapone. And that's what he did in this courthouse right here. Steve Sacapone, the line dirtbag, and contribute to the channel. Contribute to the channel. Hello. And fund the movement, resource mobilization. We can vote these dirtbags out of office. So Steve, I went on to get my job taken away from me. And the fatality rate skyrocketed. Steve Sacapone is still training people in DUI, how not to arrest people in DUI, how he read it out of a book, never done it. Not even an American citizen. And that's what the Tennessee Highway Patrol does. These illegal foreigners that are not from America, and I'm right down here, boots on the ground, not from America, and the Tennessee government gave him legal status, and he wasn't on the side of people that were trying to lower the fatality rate. He's an idiot. He stands up against that, critiques somebody out on the road in battle, and he's out here critiquing you as a lieutenant with THP. He's out here critiquing American citizens. Doesn't have a birth certificate, doesn't have a selective service registration, out here critiquing you, and he's legal, not because he should be legal, because the Tennessee government gave him legal status and he shouldn't be out here critiquing American citizens. So that is two people in the government, in the Tennessee government, that have infiltrated our government. That have infiltrated our government. That sit in some of these office buildings in this dirty courthouse, that can subpoena you in here and tell you what to do, that are in the rule of law. And I'm trying to make it the rule of you all. Power to you, the people, not the rule of these rogue people in government power. There's two of them, Guzman, and there's other ones all across America that are taking over our judiciary and taking over our rights that aren't from here. So we'll see. Yeah, we got a bunch of people in here. 216. Thank y'all for joining me and contribute to the movement. Resource mobilization. Charles Van Morgan, Power to You, the People movement. Contribute to the movement to help us get this message out, to help us get rid of illegal aliens and make us a country that serves Americans, not the people in power. See, the people in power allow this. The people in power allow these illegal people in America for their votes, so that they will vote for them to maintain their power. They don't care about the Constitution. They don't care about the American populace. I've already told you the American populace wants foreigners to be treated differently, and they want foreigners to come across the border the right way through the American legal system, and they want them to be treated fairly, but not better than American citizens. And they are treated better than us. Our rights are taken away. I can't even practice law. A foreigner's practicing law. I can't even be a Tennessee state trooper. A foreigner that is illegal foreigner is a Tennessee state trooper, not just a trooper, a supervisor. He can tell other troopers what to do. He can tell them to arrest American citizen. He can count 4, 3, 2, 1 and throw you on the ground. Doesn't have a birth certificate. Doesn't have a Selective Service registration. That's what these foreigners do in America. And power to you, the people movement. Let's vote these people that allow these foreigners to invade our country. Let's vote them out of office. Let's go to the polls and take power. The first target is the governor's office in the state of Tennessee. Now, Marsha Blackburn is running, and she may win, I don't know. But that's what they say about our Tennessee government. No trespassing. That's their Tennessee government. No, it's not, it's ours. That's what Steve Sacropani says. No trespassing, this is my country now. See, they run us out of our country and then put no trespassing signs. You can't have your government. I bet we can. I bet you better think again. I bet we're coming at the voting booths. So let's fight these dirtbags. So we got 8 people in here that have contributed to the movement. Resource mobilization, contribute to the movement. And let us gain power in the United States of America. So let's go over some more of this information, this paperwork, and talk about people in power. And the reason they're in power is because they're letting foreigners giving them legal status so they can vote for us. Let's look at the scenery here. There's the sun spear. So thank y'all for joining. And we're out here, Charles Van Morgan, Power to You, the People movement. Our aim is to, as a journalist, to put out the truth and encourage people to vote for people or not vote for certain people by putting out information about the truth about them. And here is Miss Kimberly Ogle. Well, isn't she a real winner? She was a witness on the lie list. She was on the lie list. Kim Ogle. Kim Ogle. Hey, Kim. Hey, Kim. Here's Charles Van Morgan that led the state drunk driving arrest. What part of that didn't make you think I would try to fight you, although you're an illegal liar? What part of that didn't make you think I'd fight you worldwide? Almost 1 million people listen to you. Kim Ogle is a dirtbag. She helped the thief steal. And now, look at this. Now, hey, Kim, she wants her brother to be sheriff so that he can cover up her crime. So here's her brother. Here's her brother, Chad Ogle. Sevier County, elect Chad. Couldn't be more proud of my brother. He definitely has my vote. Yeah, Kim Ogle. Well, Kim Ogle, he doesn't. I don't live in Sevier County. I have relatives that live in Sevier County. I'm not going to tell you who they are because you'd go bust in the door and try to kill them probably, maybe. But I'm going to suggest to people that they don't vote for Chad Ogle for sheriff in Sevier County because Kim Ogle is a liar. She was on the witness lie list that took me off the job that caused the fatality rate to skyrocket. Kim Ogle and their brother wants to be sheriff. They don't care about safety. They don't care about public safety. They care about lying on you. They care about their power. They want power. They'll do whatever they got to get to. They're power mongers. They're not for the populace, for your public safety. They don't want me out here saying this, but I'm going to say it. You know, get out here, Kim, and say 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll say keep on counting. Keep on counting because you did. I'll count how many lies. 1 lie, 2 lies, 3 lies, 4 lies. She's a dirtbag liar. She was on the witness list to take me off the road. That raised her fatality rate. That's Kim Ogle. Now she was against me. And I lowered the fatality rate. And now she's for her brother. Is he going to lower the fatality rate? I think not. So, hey, Kim, don't vote for Chad Ogle. That's her brother. Kim Ogle is a dirty liar that's bad for public safety. She don't care about public safety. She cares about power. She had to lie for the establishment that caused people to get killed on Tennessee roadways. She's a dirty liar. So, I would suggest, and I'm going to tell my family members that live in Sevier County that are law-abiding citizens that a judge threatened to put in jail for coming to court and testifying for me. I mean, just if I got a witness, so lay low. If I've got a witness that's going to testify in my favor, a judge will say, you shut up, you don't testify for him, we'll put you in jail. We don't care about the Constitution and your right to defend the truth. You shut up, we'll put you in jail. So they use the justice system. They use your bullets that you pay for through taxes to enforce their power illegitimately. So let's vote for Chad Ogle is a vote for corruption. Yeah, Chad, hey, buddy, you got the wrong sister, a con artist. Now, when she was a trooper, she used the THPP. She's using her good name as a retired captain with THPP to say, I'm a retired captain, vote for my brother. She used THPP while she was a sergeant to allow a woman to get out of stealing. A woman stole money from Sevier County. And y'all know what I'm talking about. I'll get to pull the article up, read between the lines. And the lady stole money. She wrote a letter for her to the judge and had several troopers write a letter using THPP to help the lady get out of a felony that ripped people out of money. They gave her a lower sentence because Kim Ogle endorsed the lady using THPP. Now she's endorsing her brother. Endorse the criminal, endorse her brother. I'm not saying her brother's a criminal. I'm saying don't vote for him because Kim Ogle's endorsing her brother, and we shouldn't give these power mongers more authority. So she endorsed a lady that stole money from Sevier Countyans, felony, got her out of a serious crime, and then she went on to steal more money after Kim Ogle helped her get out of it. So don't vote for Chad Ogle. And if it seems like I'm being boisterous, unruly tactics help. Unruly tactics. Perhaps it's discerning to discover that restraint is not rewarded with success. Let's don't be. But those who use more unruly tactics escape from misconduct, escape misfortune, primarily in situations where public sentiment neutralizes the normal deviance of the action, thus reducing the likelihood and effectiveness of counterattack. So unruly tactics escape misfortune. So I'm not saying break the law, but you don't have to be quiet. Be quiet and you will suffer misfortune. So we're not misfortunate, we're fighting back. And there's a lot of public pressure on here to shut up. People saying, oh, you're this or that, or you let somebody burn to death. Look at the video. They stand beside a car with a gas tank and on fire trying to save somebody. And I'm a coward. I was trying to save the man's life. I mean, look at the video. They're liars. They stand behind the office buildings and lie about me. They stood behind that office building, Randy Good-for-Nothing Nichols, and lied about me. While he's behind an office building, the dirtbag liar, and he protected a rapist judge. Randy Nichols did that. So let's flip the script to the truth. So here is Theresa West. Now look, I don't think you have any moral high ground, and she's put this article in here. Yeah, social pressure to conform, don't run for public office, get controlled by people who condone school shootings. So what I'm saying here is when you step on the toes of the powerful with the truth, they will try to, by social pressure, tell you to shut up. And ooh, oh, you hurt my feelings. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna be quiet. I shouldn't stand up against the rogue people in government power that are letting illegal aliens invade our country because they'll vote for us. So here's Kim Ogle. Living the high life, ain't you, Kim? Yeah. I'm right here on the public sidewalk speaking out against you. Right here on a public sidewalk. She can stand right here beside me and say, Charles Van Morgan's a liar. I'm saying, no, you're a dirtbag liar, you creep, criminal. Did you think I'd go away? I led the state in dangerous drunk driving arrests, risked my life for years. You think I'm afraid of you? These people think I'm afraid of them. Hey, yeah, and I'm shy, Kim, you dirtbag thug, you piece of shit. Now she wants us to vote for her brother. Woo, well, let's vote for that dirtbag. Yeah, here he is. Vote for Chad. I'd say don't vote for him. We'll see if he wins. I don't know. I'm sure trying. If he wins, I'll say he shouldn't have won. I'll still stand for the truth. No matter what the odds are. I risk my life standing for public safety no matter what the odds are. Could have gotten killed. I had to stand against dirtbags and THPP. So we're going to fight for right if we get resources. No matter what, social movements succeed according to the research. And I got a Master of Arts degree in that, a high-level advanced degree. I'm an expert, read about it every day almost, in social movements, getting change outside institutional means. They've got control of our government. We're not going to get anywhere going through the courts and the institutions. They're rogue. They're owned by people in foreign countries. The way we're going to get power over our government is try to use institutional means. Try to do what you can do through the institutional means. It's through extra institutional means outside the government, through gossip. Gossip about Kim Ogle. Gossip is good. It's truthful information. And so extra institutional means. So here we go. Liberty or death. Liberty or death. Is, remember that flag? Now that doesn't necessarily mean like, share, and comment. That doesn't necessarily mean our death. It doesn't, people think, I'll die for liberty. Well, how about we live for liberty? Live for liberty. And people that are against it, I'm not saying kill them, maybe they'll die. Let's be positive about stuff. Liberty or death doesn't necessarily mean power to you, the people's death. Go figure. And I'm saying the way to win the populace in Tennessee to get our government back away from these dirtbag foreigners is through voting. They would like to kill me. I'm telling you, I know they would. They want to kill me. They've already put me in jail. So we've gone through extra institutional collective action. Some of our activities, advocating voting, calling friends, attending meetings, running for public office, and using social media, recently reaching 375,000 on YouTube. Right now we are at about 750,000 people to this day, depending on today, about 750,000, almost 1 million people that we've reached on social media. And here's another. They have gotten control of our legal system, national school law. Worthless degree unless you're someone with privilege. Voters of Tennessee enraged. Vote. So they're giving foreigners their law license. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and contribute to the movement. We got almost 300 people on here. So they're giving foreigners, illegal foreigners, the privilege to practice law so they can represent their foreign country to help them out in America. I was going to help American citizens, Tennesseans, in Tennessee courtrooms against foreigners if so need be. But they give law license to foreigners. So they've infiltrated our legal system. And we need to vote them out. So they had a rally, a immigrant rally at our ICE post in Knoxville. It was Aiken, aliens of Knoxville immigrants, neighbors demand release of Alejandro Garza Lozano. So they had a protest in Knoxville, just not yesterday, the day before, trying to get an illegal immigrant. They were deporting, giving back legal status at Prosperity Road, calling for release of undocumented immigrant. Their activists did that in Knoxville just 2 days ago. Now, I tried to go out there. They already had it over when I went out there, trying to be boots on the ground live on the scene. And the difference between that illegal immigrant and Steve Sacrapone is Steve Sacrapone had friends in power. So they're deporting that illegal immigrant, and they gave Steve Sacrapone lieutenant status now because he's friends with people in power, and it will help maintain their power. So that's the difference between Steve Sacrapone and these people. So Bill Clinton, when he ran for public office, he said that it's the economy, stupid. It's what the situation was, and that's what he ran on the economy. And here's what I say to Tennesseans right now. That's what Bill Clinton ran on. Charles Van Morgan, it's the Constitution, stupid. It's the Constitution that we need to back up in the United States of America, and back up the Constitution, our First Amendment, and our rights. So let's see what we got here. So support the movement. I don't own knives, backfired. Why is Tommy having a movement of millions while you talk? Okay, I don't know. Run, I might run. So I might run for government office. I'm not sure. So thank y'all for joining me this morning. And contribute. We got several people contributed this morning. We will be back on here since we got such great number of viewers. And here's what we can do about this. Tactics. I have a survey online we must understand government are criminals. Like all criminals, the government commits crimes, like letting illegal aliens into America. These crimes are to fund their operations, plans, and training for their acts. While you're out in public, many indicators we can watch for. Act like you're on duty for the power to you, the people. When we spot these indicators, pass it on through gossip, maybe substantiated or unsubstantiated, factual, verified or not, defined by its factual foundation. Gossip is personal about people. So pass on the information through gossip. And also, I have on my YouTube channel, I've got a link, anonymous survey, where you can report anonymously while you're out for power to you, the people. Watch for indicators. When we spot these indicators, pass it on through gossip. And my survey online, go on my YouTube page and go down to the survey and write what you saw. And anonymous survey YouTube in this section, we can no longer say that doesn't matter. And also what you can do is go to their courtrooms peacefully and listen to their judges. Go to where they're holding these government activities, these government meetings. And don't be outrageous, be inconspicuous. And listen to some of their rulings and some of the crooked things they do in court that obviously they're not supposed to do. And report it through my survey. Report it to your friends and neighbors. Watch these people in government power, the things they're doing. I'm reporting to you what they do. What they've done, what I know for a fact, I know about Steve Sacapone trying to counter DUI enforcement. And report it through the YouTube channel, through the anonymous survey. Report it to your friends, through power to you, the people, through gossip. Gossip's powerful. It's an informal channel. And go to their meetings and listen to what they're trying to tell you. And watch their corruption. And you must be compelled to complain, report, not through the government. You can through informal channels. And then you must be compelled to complain, report when you encounter suspicious activity in government power. We detect, deter, and disrupt. We detect it, we deter it, and that is by reporting it, and then we're going to disrupt it at the voting booth. Judges and people in government power are criminals, and we need to watch out for them and report it. So like, share, subscribe, and contribute to this social movement. Resource mobilization. We can make a difference if we have resources. It takes resources. We got people that have contributed today. So if you contribute, then we'll have resources to continue this movement to get rid of illegal aliens and get our government back. And this is the flag, one of the flags that we stand for. One of them is American flag, and we stand on Christian values. They say they do. They say they're out for you, but they're not. And we stand on the American flag. And this is what we're out. We're on a real hunt, a witch hunt, a campaign to identify, investigate, and correct behavior or the undermine a government or country. So they're on a witch hunt against us. So go to their meetings surreptitiously and report through gossip, through my YouTube channel, the crimes that they commit. And this is what I'm getting all this information about social movements out of, this right here. So this is not made up in my mind. You know, this is not conspiracy theories. This is out of textbooks. Does violence pay? See, their violence is paying. Am I ready to conclude that violence basically works? That's a question mark. Not quite, or at least not in any simple fashion. And my caution is not due simply to the small number of cases involved and the real possibility of sampling error. It is easier to say what these data refute than what they prove. Specifically, the data undermine the following line of thinking. Violence is the product of last resort. So violence is not the product of last resort by those who seek to other means of group frustration, inability to attract significance. So violence works. When they use violence against you, it works, unfortunately. And I'm not saying to be violent. If they try to stop you from voting, you know, let's go vote. When they arrest us, it deters arrest and outcome. When they arrest, then they maintain power. It is worth asking whether different goals of these groups account for difference. The most relevant variable is violence works. So when they use violence against us, it works. And here is what they're doing against us. State crime. Crimes committed by government officials or state actors in the course of their official duties, often violating laws or human rights. Examples: corruption, bribery by public officials, where they get votes, falsifying documents or evidence, wrongful prosecutions of citizens like me, political persecution using the state apparatus to punish opponents. Now that's what they did to me. They put me in jail for running for public office, for standing up against people and trying to convince the public, which is not hard to do, that the government is rogue. The state itself or its officials acting under the guise of authority is a source of crime. The state itself or its officials acting under the disguise of authority is a source of crime. So the state government in Tennessee giving illegal aliens law licenses and rank in our law enforcement agencies is state crime. And that's what we are fighting against. State criminals. And we can do that, counteract their violence. We're not violent, they are. By voting. So we've had overwhelming views today. Thank you all so much. We're not done yet. Look at the beautiful view here in the city of Knoxville. Thank you all over the world for joining us. We're not done yet. Look at the beautiful river. The beautiful river here. We have the backed up cars. So we've got almost 300 people in here. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. Support power to you, the people. Our message is getting out. People are watching the channel and listening to the dialogue and going along with the program. And we certainly appreciate it. There is a unmarked car. So I'm an unmarked police car, but I'm on a sidewalk in the United States of America allowed to talk about government corruption and people in power that violate the law, state crime. I say that Governor Bill Lee, High Bills Lee, is a state criminal. And he is backed by the elite people in power that are crooks. And they would be violent against me if they thought they could get by with it. They've already thrown me down on the ground and put me in the hospital for running for public office. They won't let somebody that stands up against them run for public office. They use their government offices to defame you, say that you're a domestic violence person, which is not true. It's a dirty lie. And if you have witnesses to come to their courtrooms to try to say, that's not true, that's not what happened. Somebody in politics is trying to accuse him of wrongdoing for political purposes. The judge threatened to put my witness in jail. So they're trying to overwhelm us with violence, with their rogue court systems. Ladies and gentlemen, populace of the great state of Tennessee and the world, this state is in dire straits. It's crooked as hell, and if we don't do something about it now, coming up in the governor's race, we're not going to be able to get our state back. We've already lost it. It's already in the hands of foreigners right now, patrolling our streets, counting 4, 3, 2, 1, throwing us on the ground, arresting us. People that don't have birth certificates or selective service registration, people that are stomping on the Constitution, that are raising the fatality rate, have gotten in power and are abusing their power. State crimes against us. So we're coming up on a election, the governor's race, 2026. Marshall Blackburn Hugh is the leading candidate. I'm not even going to mention the other candidate's name. He's like years older than his wife that he met her when she was in juvenile. That's a class of people that are running. And we will endorse a candidate for governor, and I may run, I don't know. I ran before and gained not much, but I got inches. And yet a few inches and a few inches. In the last election, I gained inches. They say I lost. I say, no, I gained ground. See, I'm coming from a deficit. I'm coming from government-sanctioned lies. I'm coming from judicial protected defamation. So it makes it hard for me to get the message out of the truth. They say that I'm a domestic violence person. When I was running for government office, they dragged me into court and say that I committed an act of domestic violence. No, I didn't. They committed an act of terrorism against an American citizen, using their rogue courtrooms to justify it, saying that the First Amendment doesn't apply to me. It applies to them, saying that the First Amendment, read the ruling. The First Amendment has limitations. Has limitations on me, on you, but doesn't have limitations on them. Really? Hey, I have the right to the Constitution. You don't have to give it to me. I'll take it. I'll take it. It's a constitutional right. I'll fight for it. You're not going to take my constitutional right away. So that's what we're up against. We're up against rogue people in power that have taken over our government from foreign countries, that have power over us, that are rewriting laws to invade our country, and people in power are allowing them to do it because they're maintaining their power. They're not for you. Like, share, comment, and resource mobilization. Give us some resources. You don't have to go through YouTube. You go through the Square or the Cash App, or help us out by spreading the gossip, which is true. Gossip, it's not a bad thing. It's an informal channel to get out the truth of the movement. So I may run for governor 2026. I don't know. And like Bill Clinton said when he ran for public office, when he won, he said, it's the economy, stupid. My message to Tennesseans my message to Americans is this the Constitution. People that are in government power, you're stupid. It's the Constitution that we're fighting for. It's our rights. We're being invaded by foreigners. They've already invaded. They're already in power. We've got to kick them out. We're already behind the ball. So it's the Constitution, stupid. That's not what I'm saying to Tennesseans. That's what I'm saying to people in power in our government. So let's wake up 27% of the people that didn't vote. Let's flip about 10% of Governor High Bill East's vote in our favor. And then we have to get about 8% of the people that didn't vote. And we can win this election by about 8 or 10% of the people didn't vote if we flip some of the governor's votes. Hello. So spread the gossip. Power to you, the people movement. Spread the word. Charles Van Morgan might run for governor in 2026. I'm not sure. If I report that I'm running, which I may not, then I have to go through their systems to report income and to report donations. I'm not running yet. So if you donate, if you contribute resource mobilization to the movement, I don't have to report it through their official agencies because I may not run. When I get registered on the ballot, if I do, which is next March, then I have to start reporting to them, to the road people in that courthouse. Yeah, so let's don't do that until we have to. If I do, if I don't run, then I will tell you who I would suggest that you vote for. The person who will stand on the Constitution of the United States of America. And that's who you need to vote for. It may be me, I don't know. If you want me to run, then hit the like button. If you like the channel, hit the like button. If you subscribe, hit the like button. So we've had overwhelming response today. Wow, amazing. We may break a record today. So the word's getting out. Even just met somebody, an attorney. There's some good attorneys in Knoxville. They would like for me to win public office. The reason we can't win public office is because we're coming from a deficit. Because of state-sanctioned, privileged defamation. See, a judge can defame you, and they're privileged. Defamation is unprivileged false communication that tends to lower you in the standing of the community. A judge can put out false communication in a judicial ruling, and you can't sue them. It's privileged. So they put out false rulings to defame people and to maintain the power of their illegitimate rogue government that puts foreigners above Tennesseans. And that's what Bill Lee does. Now, it is in the Bible, and I will say this, and I believe this, it's true. I try to be a good Christian. Sometimes I'm not very good at it. I try. Ask God to forgive me and help me. But it is in the Bible, and I will say this, that the Bible teaches, in the Bible, it's a promise from the Bible. Now, you can pray to God through Jesus, and God answers prayer, but, and prayer, God may answer the prayer the way you want to, and He may not. But there's 3 instances in God's holy word that He promises that He will hear and show up on people's behalf, which is a promise. And God has never failed a promise. And the promise is for widows, that if a widow prays to God, she's being mistreated by people in power, that God will show up on her behalf and answer prayer. It doesn't say how He'll answer it, but He says that He will. He promises that He will. And if God makes a promise, He will. That promise is not to every prayer. That promise is not to every prayer. The promise to every prayer is to 3 different groups of people. Now prayer works, but these 3 people have got a special promise from God. God doesn't have to do anything that he does. God is all powerful and almighty. But where God obligates himself, where God has promised something, he said something, you can depend on it. You can take it to the bank. You don't have to look at circumstances. You can guarantee it. So God has promised 3 groups of people that he will answer their prayers. Now you can pray about anything, and God may or may not answer it the way you want to. These 3 groups of people are widows. God will answer the widow's prayer. It says in the Bible that he will answer the prayer of the widow. The fatherless, people that grow up without a father. Charles Van Morgan, or you, or maybe you grew up with a father that abused you. It's the same thing. So God will answer the prayer of the fatherless. And I'm saying this because it goes along with the dialogue today. Just listen. And God will answer the prayer of the stranger in the land. Now that is a foreigner. That is a foreigner. That's God's holy word. I believe that. I know that to be the truth. So if a foreigner, a stranger in the land, is mistreated and prays to God, then it's a promise that God will answer their prayer and show up on their behalf. Now there's no question to that. If a foreigner, if a stranger in the land, which is a foreigner, prays to God, if a fatherless prays to God, if a widow prays to God, there's a verse in the Bible that promises, you can assure it's God has obligated himself, and God will fulfill his promises, and never has failed, never will fail. You can be assured of that. You say, well, it looks like, I don't care what it looks like. Hide and watch. God will fulfill his promises. I believe that. I have no question about that. You would have a lot less fears and put a lot of things to rest, and I implore all of you all to trust in the Lord Jesus Christ. You say, well, it doesn't look like. I don't care what it looks like. Rest in the power of Almighty God through the Lord Jesus Christ. And we're talking about foreigners and deporting them. People say, well, you're being mean to strangers in the land. No. If they're mistreated, strangers in the land are mistreated. And I'm not saying mistreat strangers in the land. I'm not saying mistreat Steve Sacapone. I'm saying justice, which is different than mistreating. And that's where people get it wrong. I grew up fatherless. If I do somebody wrong, I can pray to God and say, God, help me against that person that I did wrong to. God's going to show up on my behalf and maybe see that I get judged for mistreating somebody. But God will definitely show up on my behalf and maybe help lower the crime and show me where I'm wrong. But God helps strangers in the land. He's promised that he will. If a stranger in the land is mistreated, God will show up on their behalf and answer for them. Even if a stranger in the land prays to God, they're here illegally, and they pray to God to help them, then God's promised they're a stranger in the land. Even though they're illegal, God will still help them. He might help them be peacefully fed and treated well while they're being deported to another country, the country that they're from. So I'm not saying, or if you mistreat them while they're illegal, we shouldn't mistreat people that are illegal. We shouldn't hurt them. We shouldn't beat on them. We shouldn't kill them. Don't do any of that. If their family, or if they pray about the mistreatment, then you're in trouble because they've got a special promise from God. Don't mistreat foreigners in the land. Take them through the appropriate vote so we can get people in office. So we'll take them through the appropriate judicial systems that are illegitimate right now and deport them peacefully and safely. Give them opportunity to carry a Bible, to have access to a Bible where they can read a Bible, and feed them well while we're taking them across the border. Order them to get off the bus and go back to their country, and if they don't, we can count down to Steve Sacapone. 4, 3, 2, 1, get off the damn bus. And that's not mistreating the foreigner. That's not mistreating him. It's not mistreating people to treat them legitimately, and they have no rights other than God will hear their prayers above people that don't have that promise. So there's a jackhammer. We need to put a jackhammer on the Tennessee government. And wow, overwhelming response today. Thank y'all so very much. And we got Old Glory in here. I want you to watch a video. Go watch it. Watch it, Old Glory. Look at me out on the road, risk my life while you sit behind a dirty computer desk and try to slander me. What a dirtbag coward you are. Everybody watch the video he's trying to tell you to watch. Hello? I'm good. I might. You watching my videos? Yeah, well, hey, there's somebody telling me I'm going to run for governor, man. People watching this video by the millions. So we might run. I don't know. Thank y'all, man. Thank that guy. Hey, we're getting out here more than we thought. We're making ground. So yeah. But you never know what people do. They'll be nice to your face and then afraid to go vote, which I don't blame them. There's a lot of opposition. People in government power are crooked as hell, dirtbags. And they'll hurt you. I'm just telling you, people in government power will hurt you. They'll hurt you. Be careful. Be careful. They will kill you. That's why I'm out here running. Maybe that's why I'm out here standing up against them, because I don't like to see the mass horrific stuff they do to American citizens, to Tennesseans. So yeah, people out here watching me. Amazing. That is good. We're gaining traction. We're getting somewhere in America because of people in government power, Sacropony. It's the Constitution, stupid Sacropony. You might own the government right now. You don't own the Constitution. You don't own the Constitution. And if we ever get in government power, you better hope we don't, Sacropony, because if we do, you're going to be investigated to the nth degree. And if I have my way, you'll get put on a bus back across the damn border. You messed around with American citizen. You messed around with the Constitution. Go back home. So somebody's texting me. And it's the Constitution, stupid Sacropony. It's the Constitution, dirty Governor Bill Lee. That's what we're fighting for. But we got over 300 people. Wow, this is amazing. So thank you all so much. So we may run. We just had somebody tell us, yeah, they've heard about me. We're getting the word out. We're getting the word out, Kimberly Ogle. Getting the word out against your dirty brother. I don't know if you're voting for him or not. So power to you, the people movement. Like, share, subscribe, contribute if you can. Resource mobilizations. We got the resources, and we ain't even got to report them right now. And we may not run. I don't know. We'll tell you who to vote for. So like and subscribe. We got 100 subscribers yesterday. A lot less viewers. We're going to break a record today in views, and we're continuing to get the message out. And let's see what this. Did you know Justice Connie Clark was related? So yeah, somebody sent me a text message. Did you know Justice Connie Clark was related to Matt Perry? Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? So we just got some information. Text to me, we'll keep it confidential. But Justice Connie Clark, who denied me my law license, is related to Matt Perry, the crooked colonel over at THPP. So who's your daddy? Who you're related to? They wouldn't even let him get sprayed with chemical spray. So thanks for the information. Yeah, let's keep the gossip going. Give me the information so I can put it out. They'd like to kill me, but if they do it to worldwide public pressure. Make me a martyr. Blow me to heaven. You made the earth intolerable almost. Blow me to heaven, Governor Bill Lee, you Christian man. He just promoted a person that's still in valor to major. What a crook. Shouldn't that infuriate y'all? There's reasons to be infuriated. Reasons to be pissed off at people in government power. One of them is when they misuse the government power. Military people. National Guard that's in Memphis unarmed due to the governor. He won't give you a weapon to defend yourself. We've been there and done that before. We had a massacre at a military institution in Tennessee because they weren't armed. Governor Bill Lee's putting military people out in Memphis unarmed. Governor Bill Lee promoted a female to major, a DIE hire, a drunk, wrinkled captain to major that lied on me and lied about serving in the military. She said she served in the 1175th Division of the Army National Guard, never served one day. Has Matt Perry's emblem on it. And they'd like to kill me for putting this out. And you don't have to be killed. Support the movement and go vote secretly if you want to. Spread gossip to your friends only about the truth. It's an extra institutional means to spread the word, to fight foreigners, to fight illegal aliens. We're not just fighting Governor High Bills. We're fighting what he's condoning and promoting, the mass takeover of our government and the mass annihilation of American citizens and the promotion of illegal aliens in this country. It's what people in power are promoting. Why are they doing that? Because these people are establishing their legitimacy and keeping them in power. If foreigners keep Bill Lee and the Republican Party in power, they're more than happy to allow foreigners. They don't care as long as they're at the top elite of foreigners. That's why they're allowing foreigners in power. So power to you, the people movement. We're getting a lot of likes, shares, comments. The word's getting out. Hey, Governor Lee, maybe 10, 20 people watch you, and you got the government, you got the damn government, state of Tennessee insignia in front of your name. Powerful, legitimate. This one little man out here, actually pretty big, is getting thousands of views, and we're talking about your nasty, self-proclaimed Christian ass. So maybe we'll deport you with the people that you allow to be in government office. Maybe we'll give you a bus ticket, and we'll pay for the bus ticket. We'll give you a seat beside Steve Sacroponi, who you promoted, and we'll deport you back to the country that you're letting infiltrate into America. How about that, Governor Lee? How about that, big dog? There ain't no man in America bigger than the Constitution. I don't care who you are. We have a right to fight against the government. And we'll damn sure do it. We'll damn sure do it. And we're not afraid of you. They'd like to kill me, make me a Christian martyr. Make me a Christian martyr. Somebody kills me. Somebody kills Charles Van Morgan. If you don't think my life's in danger, then you're crazy. You're a nut. That's not gaslighting. Your life's not in danger, so it's not gaslighting. I'm not talking about you. I'm saying mine is. Very much so. I feel the heat because I'm speaking out against people in power in the Tennessee government who are dirty dirtbag thugs and thieves that are allowing people in a foreign country to take over America because they're voting for them and maintaining their illegitimate power. So if somebody kills me, somebody assassinates me, they're trying to assassinate Trump again. They done found a hunting position near an airplane that he got off of. there's forces of evil that are human beings. Not just devils and demons, they're human beings out there that are against America, that have infiltrated America, that Governor Bill Lee has allowed. And these people would like to kill me. If somebody kills Charles Van Morgan, which is entirely possible, you know, I'm on my way to heaven, don't worry about it. Get somebody else to pick up the baton and fight for right, for America. Make America great. Take Tennessee back to the people, to the populace. Let's listen to what Tennesseans got to say. Don't maintain the power of the illegitimate. Because I tell you what they're doing, they're giving this country away to people that don't have birth certificates, and they don't have Selective Service registrations. They might have one from their country that we would have had to fight them. Isn't that ironic? I mean, just listen to me. This is gossip, but it's got fact behind it. The captain, guys like this are dangerous. They up doing stupid shit. This guy thinks if he's killed, it's an assassination. Forget what he says. He's dangerous. Dangerous for telling people to go vote. Dangerous for ignoring social pressure. If I'm so dangerous, why don't you go vote or get charges against me? They're legitimate. I've never said to hurt anybody. Y'all sure have hurt me, threw me on the ground and arrested me. And where's your conviction at? Where's your conviction? See, I'm not dangerous. They're dangerous. People in government power are dangerous. And I've explained to you how they're not dangerous. If you've got any saying I'm dangerous, that's a word. Explain how I'm dangerous. See, they can't explain that. I've explained in complete detail with facts and pictures and evidence, showing you names, dates, and locations. And look these people's names up. If they've got some kind of evidence that I'm dangerous, I've told you how they're dangerous. Spelled it out like a lawyer. Imagine that. They trained me how to do this stuff. I'm just using it on them because I need it used on them. If they can explain how I'm dangerous, explain it. Show it. Prove it. I'm not dangerous to anybody. Never have been. I'm not a dangerous person. I'm a non-violent person. I'm a peace-loving person. And the way you get peace, damn it, is not through weakness. It's through having a Gatling gun, through having power and fighting people. It's through voting. They're the ones that are dangerous. Oh, he's dangerous. I'm not dangerous. I tried to save the life of somebody that was a danger to themselves and others and could have got killed in a fire. Well, they're lucky I did. They're unfortunate I didn't get killed in that fire trying to save somebody's life because they tried to spin it, and I'm still here. I led the state in drunk driving arrests, led the state in lowering fatalities on Tennessee roadways. I certainly know how to fight you all. You read some bad data. So keep spreading the message through gossip. Tell your neighbor, gossip is a good thing. Gossip is based on facts. That's not the hearsay and evidence, truthful stuff. That's passed from person to person. Spread the gossip. Charles Van Morgan, power to you, the people. We like 2 more people and we'll get 100 views, same as we did yesterday. Except we got a lot more, 100 likes. We got a lot more views today. We're going to break a record today. So people are listening. Thank you all so very much. May God bless you all. Don't listen to what they say. Social pressure is not going to deter us. What's going to deter us is lack of resources. So if you can give resources to Power to You, the People movement, give the resources. If you can like, share, and comment, spread the algorithm, do that. That helps too. We don't have to report anything to the government right now except for income taxes, and we'll do that. So we're flying below their government radar. And worldwide, on your side, on the populist side, we're a populist movement for you. It don't matter what side of the political aisle you're on. We can listen and work things out and come to compromise. What we can't do, what we will not do, is ignore the Constitution. We won't do that. You got a right to say what you think. We got a right to say what we think. And we will not allow foreigners to take power in our government and rule over us. It's not going to happen in this country while I'm alive. And if they assassinate me, and they might, just don't look at some street thug. Look at people in government power, because they'd like to take me out. because I'm speaking against them that makes sense and it's the truth. It's the God's honest truth. That's why they're on here looking at my page, and I can show you proof. I may someday they check out my Facebook page. People in government power right now, legislators, they look at my Facebook page. And why are they doing that for? If it's like this. If you walk past a bum on the street, and a bum on the street that's drinking beer, bumming money, could work that don't, and he says to you, he says, you're a dirty, rotten thug, you're useless. And he could work, don't, run around drinking all day long, commit crimes, steal stuff, and he says that to you. And you, it doesn't matter to you, he's a thug, he's a dirtbag. You don't care what he says. It has no influence. You might just smile and say something nice. You don't care. He's worthless. He doesn't mean anything. It's not going to matter to you. He's a worthless, useless thug. But if it's somebody that's outstanding, maybe your church pastor that lives a good life, or maybe somebody that is a decent human being, and they are of outstanding character and they speak the truth, and they say something to you that is bad. They say that you're dangerous and that you need to correct your ways. And it's somebody that's earned respect, not just in government power, and they're telling the truth about you, something that's the truth. Then that's gonna get you pissed off. Even if they're lying, it's gonna piss you off because there's somebody that is telling the truth, that knows something about you that's truthful. It's going to bother you. So hello. So the reason, this is a sourpuss. I call it like I see it. Who doesn't speak? That's a Democrat or Republican. But anyway, a lot of people do. But anyway, some people that don't matter, you're not going to argue with them, get on their YouTube page and say, hey, he's dangerous, blah, 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 blah. You're not going to say that. I mean, just basic logic. You don't have to be a genius to understand what I'm saying. I'm not a genius. Things are easy to see. Just look. Look around. You'll see it. So people on this page that are running me down, go ahead, run me down to dirt. I don't care. Woohoo. If I was worthless and useless and wasn't making any sense, I'd be like the bum on the street drinking that was a thief and worthless. And if I said something about Governor Bill Lee, he wouldn't care. He wouldn't give a damn. He don't care. That's that guy that drove past the wreck after dark. We got him. We got to lie on him. He doesn't matter. And that's the truth. He really did that. So we're good. But what if I didn't do any of that? What if I didn't do any of that? That what I'm saying is true. And if you're telling the truth has weight and has value. And it means something, because if you're telling the truth, there's things that can substantiate it and back it up. It's not just a dirty lie. And the truth, you don't have to spin a web. You know that you can tell the truth and there's nothing that can disprove it because it's the honest truth. So if I'm lying, then why ain't they just writing me off? It doesn't matter. We can prove he's lying. Because I'm not lying about anything, and I can prove it. And they're lying about a hell of a lot, and they're letting illegal aliens take over this country, and they're dangerous to you and the world and the United States of America and Tennessee. So the fact that we got people in here calling me dangerous, take that as a positive sign, because I'm not a dirty, drunk, lying person that did what they said I did, and I can prove it, and they know I can prove it. They're lying. That's why it infuriates them. So they got to counter what I say. If a drunk calls me a dirty dirtbag, worthless, and I'm gonna keep walking by, I might smile at him. It doesn't mean anything. He's a dirty drunk. I can take a picture of him. So that person says I'm nothing. Well, maybe you need to clean up your own act. He's not going to affect me. But what if some outstanding citizen says that has the power of a lot of people to influence? Because they've got the truth. They got something on me that's true, and he says, Van Morgan did this, and I'm going to say, no, you shut up, don't say that. I'm going to try to stop him from saying that. I'm going to say this sign is saying something bad about me, and he's telling the truth, and I know. I'm going to say, no, don't listen to him. I'm going to get on his YouTube page. Don't listen to him. He's lying. Shut up. Don't tell him the truth. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do, because the truth has weight and value. So these people on my YouTube page that are running me down. They're running me down. They're saying that I did stuff that I didn't do. And I'm telling you how I didn't do it and showing you pictures and evidence. So they're on my page. If I wasn't telling you the truth, they'd be ignoring me. I wouldn't care. That wouldn't matter to them. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't make a damn bit of difference. Because they wouldn't care what I said. They're saying he's meaningless. And somebody asked them about what I was saying. They'd say, well, you know what he did. I mean, look at this proof. They said, we got a judge to stamp off on it. And not only the judge, look at the proof. But time doesn't destroy the truth. But I can say that what they're saying to me is a lie. And I can prove it. What they're saying about me is a lie, and I can prove it. And it's trained me to fight people in government power and contest their atrocities. And their atrocities that are causing you to get dead and you and your family and friends across the whole state of Tennessee. And it needs to be stopped. So God sent Van, and here I am. And they know I got power. There's power in the truth. And they know that whatever they say, that I can say, no, that's not what happened. Here's what happened. You're a liar. So they got to shut me up. They got to get on my page. Because if I didn't mean anything, they wouldn't be on my page. So the people that are on here saying bad stuff about me, that's good. That's because they know I'm telling the truth. And they want me to shut up. If I didn't mean anything, they wouldn't bother with it. So all y'all that are on here, thank you so much for showing how significant I am. I might be telling my secret away, but go ahead, spit out your lies. Because it's not true, it's a dirty lie. I am good for America. I'm good for the state of Tennessee. I'm good for exposing public corruption. I was good when I worked in the government. Past performance is a predictor of future behavior. When I was on the road, me and Marty Nix lowered the fatality rate substantially. I'm good for public safety. They're not. They're not good for public safety. They're dangerous to you. And they're foreigners. They're illegal immigrants. Admitted themselves, and they've given legal status to themselves, and they're dirtbags and wrong. So let me mention this. Now, God promised Job that God said that Job's luck was changed. If you don't believe in luck, you don't believe in science. There's luck. That God changed Job's luck. God changed Job's future when he prayed for his friends. When he prayed for his friends. Now I'm not very good when I try. I'll keep trying. God forgive me and help me. But God changed Job's luck. And you can remember this. This is a promise this is from the Bible. It's not one of the promises, but it's a fact in the Bible. God changed Job's luck when he prayed for his friends. So I have a friend on my mind right now that's going through some health crisis, and he told me not to say who he was. But I pray for my friend. Hello. So pretty little girl you got there. God changed Job's luck when he prayed for his friend. So I'm asking you all, and I'm not just doing it because of that, to pray for my friend who's going through some health issues. He asked me not to mention his name, but you also pray for your friends. God's word is real, and it's true. Every word of God is pure. He's a shield to them that put their trust in him. So God knows what's going on. And God has faith in Tennessee. God has faith in Americans. Bill Lee can use the church to facilitate his crooked all he wants to. Don't look at what he says, look at what he does. And we are on a path to remove him and his dictatorship from office and investigate him after he gets out of office, investigate Bill Haslam, and maybe put them people in office. So we thank you all so very much for joining us. We may be back on tomorrow morning. I don't know. I think we set a record today. God bless you all. I pray. Pray for your friends. Don't mistreat foreigners. We'll put them on a bus, treat them nice, and get them the hell out of Dodge safely, and offer them a Bible while they're going across the border. And remember, people that have less power in government are the people that are mistreated by the government. And let's treat them fairly and adequately. So we'll be back on here with a better newer, up-to-date story tomorrow. We've been on here over 3 hours. Wow, and I think we set a record today. So we may run for governor, I don't know. And the way we can win is resource mobilization. So contribute to the movement will help us stay on the channel, and contribute to Power You the People. And remember, tell these dirtbags in public office, it's the Constitution, stupid. It's the Constitution. That's what we're standing on. Contribute to the Constitution. To Charles Van Morgan, gossip. Go to their, spread the word through gossip. Gossip is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's an extra institutional means to spread the message. Call your friends and go to their government meetings and listen to what they're saying. Surreptitiously, quietly, listen to what they're saying and report it through my YouTube page, through my anonymous survey. And somebody just reported stuff to me just then. Report it to your friends through gossip. Tell them about Power to You the People movement. And we can make a difference. We can make a huge difference. We already are. We already are. They'd like to kill me. If they kill me, don't look at the thug on the street. Some thug did it. Look at people in government power. They're the ones that'll try to kill me. They're the ones that'll make me a martyr. I don't want to be a martyr. I don't think that I will be. That keeps me safe by pointing that out. You just make it worse, people in government power, if you kill me. You just make it worse. You best leave me alive. Leave me alone and try to act like I'm insignificant. They don't have enough self-control to do that. But if somebody kills me, it's somebody in government power. You make me a martyr. So people in government power, leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm not violent. I'm advocating voting, not violence voting. So we are losing viewers, so we'll get off here. We're going to stay talk as long as people listen. Resource mobilization, contribute. Last thing I say, maybe back on here tomorrow, 5:36. God bless you all. The last thing I say is God loves you, and I do too. Until next time.